done this before?
Ladies and gentlemen, CocoSports.com is proud to present Wrestle AM, half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all BS. We're going to do part 2 here, the redo of our Monday Night Raw review. And of course, you got me, the sexiest man on all of Internet Wrestling Radio. That's right, Boom Boom here, shaking a room, live from beautiful Omaha, Nebraska. And of course, joining me live is my brother from another mother, talking about the Iron Man himself, Dave Kokotis. And Dave, it's good to see you back. And now, for those of you who may be wondering, okay, where were you guys last night? What was going on? Yeah, there was a Monday Night Raw review done. But as soon as Raw wraps up, I get a message on Google. Hey, Booms, I'm going to be in the hospital, and by now that just doesn't mean anything. And that's like Dave Kokotis saying, hey, Booms, I'm going to go get my hair cut. Hey, Booms, I'm going to go to the post office. Hey, Booms, I'm going to go to the hospital. I mean, it has all the same meaning to me. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I can help out, Dave. You know, I've done this before, so I log on, you know, I get everything set up, but I broadcasted on the wrong fucking account. I broadcasted on Dave Kokotis' personal account rather than the CocoSports.com account, so bad Boom Boom. We're going to attach that solo show that I did for the Monday Night Raw review. Now, we're going to talk about Monday Night Raw. We're just not going to go as in-depth as I did last night, but we're going to do it again. And but to fill up, you know, make some time, of course, we're going to answer your questions, so be sure to put them down there in the comments. Also, we're going to talk about some news that you can check out right now at CocoSports.com. That's KOCOSports.com. So, Dave, first of all, I guess what the Internet Infantry is going to want to know, Dave, is how are you feeling right now?
I feel weak for me, but, you know, weak for me is probably still spaz the fuck out for the rest of the world. But, yeah, I had to spend a little time in the hospital, and Booms put it on the wrong channel. So we will put the link in the doobly-doo. It will be on CocoSports.com. This will be a short Raw review, but also with a lot of wrestling news. Boom Boom did go into a lot more detail about it. All right, Booms, I'm going to go through this quickly. It's a short Raw review, give my opinions, and then if you want to perk up, go ahead, and then we'll hit up some news. All right, so the big thing that everyone's gone crazy about is Triple H starts off with the $9.99 thing. And I find this to be interesting because, you know, a lot of people, I promote a website, whatever I promote, I fucking go full bore into. And a lot of people are like, oh, you shouldn't plug your website that much. You shouldn't do that much. But, you know, statistics have shown. I wonder, he basically pulled a Kokotis. He pulled a me. He's like, dude, let's just fucking slam him with the advertisement. That's almost ridiculous. And I kind of want to know, does my over-the-top advertisement style work for WWE? Because I want to know if all this $9.99 talk really gets more viewers, more subscribers, all that. So I find it very interesting. There's the hard sell, and then there's the Triple H Kokotis sell. And everyone went insane. So $9.99, there it goes. Roman Reigns defeated Kane. Roman Reigns did have to get stitches afterwards. We got pictures of that on CocoSports.com. And Kane later on gave up the mask. So I hope this is the end of Kane for a real long time. I don't think even the biggest Kane fan in the world. Well, first off, nothing but plot holes. Let's call him by his birth name. Kane, Mr. Plot Holes Kane. It's Kane. Kane, Mr. Plot Holes Kane. It's just nothing but plot holes. And the fact that he came back as a monster after being Libertarian Kane, it was too much. So hopefully he takes some time off and they repackage him. I'm not a big fan of Kane, but it got to the point where it's like, dude, this is just embarrassing. So there you go. Mark Henry defeated Damian Sandow, and poor fucking Sandow. That's all you can say. Poor goddamn Damian Sandow. It was great to see Mark Henry, though. He's on the Fighting Kangaroo. I thought he was going to have a way better season than he has. Go ahead, Booms.
No, I was just agreeing with you. I agree. It's great to see Mark Henry back.
Yeah. Dean Ambrose defeated Alberto Del Rio in a Beat the Clock challenge. I like this a lot. I like this a lot because it was Del Rio didn't look like a punk-ass bitch. Because a lot of times in WWE, if you're in a Beat the Clock challenge, the winner beats you like in 5 minutes. But if it's not a Beat the Clock challenge, it's a 15-minute match. I like the fact that it was a 15-minute match and beat the clock. It just added some realism to it. Because I know how it is, but like, you know, it's like, oh, Dolph Ziggler's going to beat Mark Henry. Well, in a regular match, that would take 20 minutes. But at Beat the Clock, he beats him in 2 minutes, you know? So I thought it was kind of cool and a little bit of a realistic twist, you know? as realistic as pro wrestling gets, but it felt more real that it went 15 minutes. I did enjoy that aspect of it. And Del Rio didn't look like a punk-ass bitch, which is really hard to do when you're the challenger and beat the clock. Rusev defeated Sin Cara. I don't even think I fucking watched this match, but it led to...
That match happened on TV. It happened on the app.
Oh, it happened on the app? That's why I missed it. Oh, well.
Yeah, they watched them on the app.
Yeah, that's a good idea for marketing, but horrible for people watching the show. But yeah, more 80s goodness. It's pretty much the same story over and over. Dolph Ziggler defeated Antonio Cesaro in a dream match, but it was like a wet dream. It was like 5
I joked about that, Dave. I actually joked about that last night. I said somewhere Dave Kokotis just had an orgasm and he doesn't know why.
Exactly. A dream match is, you know, you see a match for 15 minutes, and you're like, wow, 15 plus minutes. And you're like, wow, I can't believe it. A wet dream match is like, oh, it's over. Like most of my sexual encounters. Goldust and Stardust defeated Ryback. Yeah, good for them. Chris Jericho, and like I said, this is a short review. If you're a little mad about our review, Boom Boom went into way more detail in every match, and we'll put the link in the doobly-doo. He just put it on the wrong channel. So Chris Jericho defeated Luke Harper via disqualification. I like Chris Jericho playing the part of John Cena. You know what? I like this movie. I've seen this movie before. And you know what? The reboot is just a little bit better. This is like Spider-Man. This feels like Spider-Man. It's like, yeah, the new Spider-Man's better, but it's pretty much the same exact fucking thing. Like, yeah, I know this is going to sound classy. I should have worn my tie instead of my Big Japan shirt. But wear my tie, and I'll class up the joint and be like, well, playing the part of Chris Jericho tonight will be John Cena. And you hear gasp from the play. Oh, I came here! Booms. I take it you don't like my play humor as much as I do.
I don't find it as humorous as you do.
Hey, go watch some fucking plays. Move to New York, you fucking uneducated swine. Diego defeated Fandango. It happened. It's the same exact match. Bo Dallas defeated R-Truth and restarted the streak. You know what? We need to restart the streak. If Bo believes the streak is started over, I believe. All right, there. I'm behind you, Bo Dallas. Matter of fact, last week's Raw and SmackDown, last week that we did the weekend review, or I did the weekend review, it was probably the worst week in a while in WWE. So you know what? It didn't happen. Last week did not happen. Stephanie McMahon didn't. Oh, wait. She did again today. Heath Slater defeated Seth Rollins in a beat the clock challenge, which I thought was pretty decent. But at the same time, like Boom Boom said in his review, because I was watching from the hospital. That's how much fucking hardcore I am. Boom Boom said the announcers gave away the spoiler. I mean, it's crazy because remember when Hulk Hogan turned NWO? Bobby the Brain Heenan asked an open-end question, and people were like, oh my god, you gave a spoiler, how unprofessional. And I was watching live and never thought about Bobby the Brain Heenan's open question being a spoiler. I just look at the difference of Bobby the Brain Heenan just saying, what side is Hulk Hogan on, and people flipping out, compared to today. Today they give spoilers all the time on their own show. TNA does it too. I don't know, like, I know kayfabe is dead, but at the same time, you don't turn on 24 and Jack Bauer's like, yo, in 23 hours, we're going to save the day. I mean, there's going to be problems. It might be a little twisted turns here. It's not going to go perfect, but we're going to save the day at the end of the day. Boo, 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 boo. That's it. Like, I just don't fucking get how they don't have pride in what they do. I know the kayfabe era is over, but you can still have fucking pride and not give away spoilers. Stephanie McMahon and Brie Bella signed their SummerSlam contract.
Now, Dave,
can I bring
up something here?
Not gonna let us forget it. Go ahead.
I'd like to bring up something here. Since you know we're doing this later and the numbers are in, I'd like to bring up the ratings here. That the numbers for the August 4th Raw averaged out to a 2.86. That was down from a 3.06 last week, and that was even down from a 3.15 2 weeks ago. If you want to do the hourly breakdown, it started out with 4.075 million viewers in the first hour. Then it grew to 4.193 million viewers in the second hour. And then the third and final hour with, oh, wow, contract signing. Guess what happened, kids? The third hour dropped to a low 3.877 million viewers. That is the fewest third-hour viewers since Labor Day on May 26th, and especially for a non-holiday Raw. And for a non-holiday Raw, it will be the fewest since May 19th. So, one of my criticisms last week was, why are you going to end it on this talking segment? And last week the ratings dropped, because of Stephanie McMahon. But like I said, anyone who has half an ounce of brains, God gave a fucking gopher, is not going to say anything because it's Stephanie McMahon. They're definitely not going to pin the blame on her for the ratings dropping in the third and final hour. Well, what they decided to do was double down on it, and they had the lowest ratings or lowest viewership out of all 3 hours was the third and final hour that she was in. Now, are you going to blame, Seth Rollins and Heath Slater? Maybe, but I noticed something here that Seth Rollins and Heath Slater was not in the third hour of last week's Raw, but I noticed one person, well, actually two people, were in the same kind of segment for the third hour for 2 Raws in a row. Both results. I'm just saying. You're
doing your Mark Henry. I'm just saying. One thing that this is bad. It just reminds me. Remember when we did that fucking show where we acted positive the whole time? I just remember there's a clip that someone made separate, and it's just me going, contract signing. That's what it fucking reminded me of. First off, never end any fucking show with a contract signing. Never, ever, 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 ever. If you ever are lucky enough to be part of WWE Creative, dude, never. Even if you get fired, there are some things you have to draw the line in the sand. Everyone has to man up and draw a line in the sand. And being unemployed is better than being part of WWE Creative when it ends in a contract signing. You have to draw the line. When you go to work, if you don't draw the line somewhere, you eventually become a bitch. Now, I'm not saying draw the line at like, hey, your boss wants a cup of coffee, and you're like, fuck you, I don't get coffee, and throw it in his face. You have to fucking draw the line somewhere reasonable. But if you're part of WWE Creative, you have to draw the fucking line at ending a show with a contract signing. That's it. You have to draw the line. You are better off being unemployed. Every person in that fucking room, you are a fucking coward. Female, male, McMahon, not a McMahon, intern, Joey Styles, whoever the fuck was in that room when they said, we're going to end it with a contract signing. You are a coward. End of fucking story. Second off, there are people out there, other YouTubers, and I've already mentioned this. If you think this is good for women's wrestling, it's a fucking insult. Everyone in sports wants the real Ronda Rousey. Everyone in pro wrestling wants the glass ceiling to be broke. All right? Every time you say Stephanie McMahon main evented a Raw and is helping women's wrestling, you're spitting right in the goddamn face of Lita and Trish Stratus. You are spitting right in the face of Gail Kim and Awesome Kong. They really main evented a show. Let me tell you how fucking pathetic this is. I went to Big Japan. The festival, Big Japan was there, and I bought my daughter a fan. One of the little fans from Big Japan. I bought her. It was there. It was 500 yen. That's about $5 for a fan. I'm like, are you fucking for real? But she's like, Daddy, I really want it. Son of a bitch. I fucking don't. You fucking fan. That's what the fuck you do. That's what you do, Big Japan. But no, nice T-shirt, by the way. But I bought my daughter a fan for $5. She did more for women's wrestling than Stephanie McMahon did. Right there. She did more for women's wrestling because they're going to go, wow, a little girl bought a Big Japan fan that had a girl on it. Wow, my 500 yen, $5, buying my daughter a fan that she probably lost at the festival, probably doesn't have it anymore, did more for women's wrestling than Stephanie McMahon did. Stop acting like this is some groundbreaking thing. It is not. It is a spoiled bitch that's making Dixie Carter look like an honorable person. That's all it is. And the second thing I want to talk about is John Cena. John Cena.
Wasn't on the show.
Decent package. Let me tell you something. WWE, this goes out to John Cena. Never mention UFC like your legit competition. Never. When Brock Lesnar, Rampage, King Mo, Ken Shamrock, when Sakuraba says pro wrestling is the best, that adds credibility to your sport. John Cena, the bodybuilder who failed, saying, oh, Brock only fights once every fucking few months, and it's a dig at UFC, just brings down the reality. It brings down the reality. It's like when you say that John Cena was a Marine. It's like when Randy Orton's like, it was not a dishonorable discharge, get your facts straight. Yeah, you're a fucking bitch, bro. That's the fucking facts. Now listen, don't fucking mention the UFC again unless you fought in mixed martial arts, because it ruins credibility. Rampage Jackson saying pro wrestling's harder adds credibility. Sakuraba, like I gave you a list. As a matter of fact, if you want, I'll write a huge column and just list who can talk about UFC and who can talk about mixed martial arts to add credibility to pro wrestling. John Cena, you are not on that fucking list. You are not on that fucking list. You are not on that list. You are barely a fucking professional wrestler. All right. Speaking with that, WWE, UFC, we're going to go through stories, Boom. So, I know I hogged up a lot of the time, but I want to hear your opinions more on these stories. We got about 8 or 9 stories on CocoSports.com that we want to go to. Like I said, I have mostly hogged up this time, and it was really short because Boom Boom on the wrong channel did a solo show where he put in a lot more details. We'll put that link down in the doobly-doo. So if you want, you can put win-loss tie, what you thought of Raw, but also we want to hear your opinions on the stories. And we're way behind because one of us has to keep going in the hospital. Fucking BS, bitch. Anyway, the first thing I want to do is Triple H. It goes into details. Triple H is definite man. This is the headline. David Cooey posted on CocoSports.com, CocoSports.net. It takes you the same place. Triple H is definite man takes shots at UFC during a conference. I apologize for fucking insulting it. And they talked about how WWE and UFC and combat sports and all that is different. And he talks about, here, there's a quote that it's about storytelling. It's about a feeling you have. At the UFC, they can't control if there's a good pay-per-view. We can. They can't control who wins. We can. And he goes on, and he just basically says, we're entertainment, we're storytellers. And it's basically, hey, the UFC is great, but we're not the UFC. And Dana White says the same thing about WWE. The problem is the examples you give, the UFC does better. UFC tells better stories. UFC creates heroes and heels better than you. The problem is when Dana White says, hey, we're not like the WWE, we're different, that makes sense because then there's WWE fans go, well, let's go see what UFC is about. But when the WWE says, oh, well, the UFC can't tell a story. Oh, the UFC can't decide who wins. The UFC can't make megastars. That is all true. Everything about that is true, except you're not doing it. They are better than you. They are better. You are not better than being the UFC. The UFC is better at being the WWE. I guarantee more people are talking about John Jones being a fucking legit heel champion than any of your heel champions. I guarantee if you watched Raw going into a pay-per-view, here's a challenge. Here's a challenge for people that are not mixed martial arts fans. And I don't want to know. I don't want to combine pro wrestling and mixed martial arts. This is WWE versus UFC. Here's the challenge. You ready? Watch a 3-hour Raw building up to a pay-per-view. Go in blind. Be like, I know absolutely nothing about this. Sit down and watch the Raw before, I don't know, let's just say Battleground, or watch the Raw before any pay-per-view. Then go watch a 1-hour show where they hype up a fight. And it doesn't matter what the fuck, if you don't even like UFC. It doesn't even matter if you like pro wrestling. The UFC is better at hyping up fights and telling stories than WWE is. So you can go on these conference calls and say how you're entertainment and you can tell the story. All that is true. The advantage is the ball is in your court. Here's the problem, asshole. You ready? even though the ball is in your court, you're getting beat at your own fucking game. You are getting beat at your own game. And this ain't I love MMA. Trust me, I fucking hate MMA fans. I love mixed martial arts. I love UFC. I would rather deal with 900 wrestling fans than one mixed martial arts fan. That's why fucking there's not many fucking UFC reviews on this show. But with that said, go. The challenge is open. As a matter of fact, the challenge is to Triple H. Go tweet at Triple H. At Triple H, IHateWrestling.net. I'm pretty sure that's his Twitter handle, right? Go. Put him down. And the challenge is watch Raw before the pay-per-view, and then go watch a 1-hour UFC preview. As far as stories go, you will be more pumped up for UFC than WWE. You can't say you're different. That's like me saying, well, I'm better at swimming than Boom Boom because I used to be a Marine. And then we go to the pool, and Boom Boom's beating the shit out of me. Yeah, I should be better at swimming than him because I was a Marine, but the reality is I'm a fat son of a bitch who got fucking lazy, just like WWE. Well, meanwhile, Boom's like, hey, I'm not a Marine, but you know, my fat ass is going to go to the gym. That's it. You should be better at telling stories, and you're not. You should be better at promoting stars, and you're not. Don't believe me? Let's look. Let's go one-on-one. Nothing to do with your jobs, just star quality. Boom, boom. You're a huge wrestling fan. Don't watch much UFC. Am I safe to say that? Right? The question is for anyone in the comments, too. You build superstars, right? WWE, you tell stories. Boom, boom. You, just say it one more time. Do you watch the UFC as much as you watch WWE?
No, nowhere close.
All right. Now, who's the bigger star, Ronda Rousey or John Cena?
Ronda Rousey.
Game over. I'm going home. Good night.
All right.
Who's the bigger star? Who's the bigger star? Who?
Dave, let me jump in on this. I'm going to disagree with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon because here's the deal. You know, let me give you an example here. Whenever the UFC World Heavyweight Champion goes down, they always declare an interim champion, and once the injured champion is healed back up, they do a title consolidation match. Okay, but when WWE, even though knowingly, okay, somebody's going to get hurt, or okay, somebody is hurt, what do? We can put this on anybody we want. What do? Bum, 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 bum. But that's not my point. If WWE is so good at telling stories, as Triple H claims, then why isn't Adam Rose, Paige, why isn't Damian Sandow? How come none of those guys are over? If you're so good at telling storylines.
I just want to add real quick. I'm sorry. And not only that, you're a big star. Because they say we make international superstars. We make entertainment stars. John Cena was in his hometown. He won his 15th fucking title. UFC stars that are hated get a better reaction. Bisping is kind of hated. He gets a better reaction when he wins. John Jones is pretty much hated right now. He'll get a better reaction than when he wins. Tito Ortiz is hated, and he'll get a better reaction. So, John Cena, your superstar, in his hometown, winning his 15th title, that's your reaction. That is your storytelling. You have failed on every level. You have failed. And WWE, you should be more entertaining. WWE, you should have bigger stars. WWE, everything Triple H says is true. Problem is, you're failing. You are failing at what you do. And the UFC...
here's another thing, Triple H. You keep talking about how you can control things where UFC can't. Well, UFC capitalizes on things, and they can, the biggest story that I know of, and again, I'm not a very big mixed martial arts guy. I watch it sporadically, but I'm not a huge guy. But one thing here, and this is like a big story, it was like something out of a Hollywood script is the only reason I bring this up. It was Anderson Silva. Talk about arguably one of the best jiu-jitsu guys, one of the best fighters in the world. Goes into this match, starts playing around, starts fucking around, gets cocky, and I think it was Chris Weidman. Is that how you say his name, Weidman?
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris Weidman knocks his ass out, gets his title. Well, they get a rematch, and it's okay. The story now is Anderson gonna screw around? Is Anderson Silva gonna play around like he did last time? Because he did, and he got caught. Goes in there, breaks his fucking leg like a goddamn toothpick. I mean, it's just one of the most. I mean, dude, it's like one of those, I had to look away. I mean, that's how fucking vicious it was. I was like, whoa, that's pretty fucking intense, man. And now the story is Silva's like, well, my leg is 95%, but I'm really not going to know how good I'm healed up till I get back into that first match. And I'm like, right there. It's perfect. It's real life. It happened, but UFC capitalized on it, and they just told the story. They just told what these guys were thinking, what they were feeling, and then boom. But in UFC can't control any of that. WWE can, and look at their ratings. I mean, their ratings dropped when they were telling the stories with Stephanie McMahon and Brie Bella.
We do have a question. We're gonna get into more news stories. Fred Yelly asks, Dave, why do you hate MMA fans? And I don't hate all MMA fans. I hate the new generation of MMA fans. I'll keep this short, but it's a good question. I used to watch mixed martial arts when we called it No Holds Barred. I actually fought in 3 No Holds Barred matches in Okinawa. Or 4. Yeah, I fought 4. I won 3 and lost 1. So embarrassing. But anyway, thank God there wasn't YouTube back then. But maybe I'll tell that story another time. But yeah, I used to be a hand-to-hand combat instructor in the Marine Corps a long, long time ago, back when it was No Holds Barred. And dude, when you met an MMA fan, when UFC 1 came out, and Pride came out, everyone just comes up, and it was such a family. It was such a great feeling. Like, oh, No Holds Barred, wow, mixed martial arts, UFC, Pride. It was such a great feeling. You shared knowledge, and it was the greatest. I remember we got in a car, me and a bunch of guys, and this is before. Nowadays, you can see Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu everywhere. I live in Tokyo. You can go to any city that's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym. But I remember we were in North Carolina, Jacksonville. No, dude, I think there's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym in Washington, D.C. We're like, really? There might be? That's when we went. That's all we knew. There might be a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym. We and a bunch of the fighters / Marines, because we were professional fighters back then, got into a car, went to Washington, D.C., and this is before the internet was really, really big. Back then, cell phones just made calls. And we went to Washington, D.C., and we found this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym in a garage, and it was such a family fucking environment. And it was so great. Everyone was respectful. Everyone was a fucking warrior. And it was so much fun. And it was great to be a fan. It was. Nowadays, I'm going to steal a line from The Incredibles. If everyone is super, no one is super. Everyone acts like they're the fucking UFC champion of the world. Everyone has to wear expensive fucking t-shirts. Everyone has to be an expert, even if they're fucking lying. They're like, well, that's a fucking Scooby-Doo fucking rappity-rap fucking move. And you're like, no, that's not what it's called. It's actually called, no, I'm a fucking Chinese fucking jiu-jitsu fucking master. And they're just fucking scumbags. They're just fucking pieces of shit. I remember back when it was No Holds Barred, you could be like, oh, I like pro wrestling and that. And in Japan, you could be like, I love pro wrestling and mixed martial arts, and it's acceptable. These fucking new fans. First off, all of them. First off, if you're an older fighter, they don't fucking respect the history. Like the fact that you're going around saying I'm a huge mixed martial arts fan and don't know who Sakuraba is and think Fedor sucks, you're fucking retarded. That's it. You're retarded. There's no fucking ifs, ands, buts about it. And they don't respect history. They think they're gonna win the next Ultimate Fighter. It's like, hey, I bought a fucking tap-out shirt, and I'm talking really loud. That means I fucking know what I'm talking about. And and not only that, but you can't be a fan. You have to have a resume. Like, example, I like pro wrestling. I want to spew my opinions. Other pro wrestling fans will be like, well, have you ever promoted a show? Have you ever wrestled a match? But in UFC, you have that. It's like, I like mixed martial arts. Oh, well, what have you done? And you literally have to have your resume ready. It's like a white guy saying something about black people. You have to have your non-racist resume ready. It's like, I'm not really a racist. Look, it's the same thing with mixed martial arts. It's like, well, in the 3rd grade, I had a fucking green belt in karate. And no matter what, they're just going to lie and say they did something bigger, better, badder. And they're just fucking douchebags. The media is douchebags. They're like, for real, meet someone in the pro wrestling media, you'll have like 4 or 5 douchebags. Meet someone in sports, you'll have about 1 douchebag. Meet a mixed martial arts guy, if you're not Ariel Helwani or Tommy Told, you're pretty much a fucking douchebag. Let's be completely honest. And Ariel Helwani gets busted for being a douchebag all the time. So I don't like MMA fans because, especially American MMA fans, Japanese MMA fans are fucking respectful, great, know their knowledge. But a lot of, dude, just because, I don't know, I just don't enjoy MMA fans. It's the bottom line. I just remember, because I remember meeting someone from MMA Weekly, and this was a couple years back. We met MMA Weekly, we ate lunch, we ate dinner, talked about fucking MMA, and went away. Now, you'd be like, I run Tumblr's fucking Japan fucking MMA Superstar 97 and have 6 fucking Tumblr followers. Don't talk to me, I'm an expert. And you're like, are you fucking for real? That's really? Really? Okay. You're an expert. And, you know, pro wrestling has its problems, too. But the UFC is cool. It's hip. I need to be an expert. And it's just like, dude. You know, and not only that, but, like, I hate to, like, be like, no, you're wrong about that. And they're like, oh, my God, do you want to fight? Where do you train? Like, the UFC needs to grow as a sport because, example, I go to Big Japan. I'm like, wow, I'm a huge fan. No one says, do you want to be a pro wrestler? Get in the fucking ring and I'll teach you how to be a Big Japan pro wrestler. Because that's retarded. When I go to a baseball game, no one goes, hey, bitch, you're wearing a fucking... I'm wearing a Chris Hero hat, but let's say I was wearing a Yankees hat. If I go to Yankee Stadium, I don't fucking hear Tommy John. I'm old. I don't hear Tommy John from the fucking dugout be like, hey, bitch, you wearing a Yankees hat? Fucking yeah, get in the third inning and pitch. But you'll hear that in MMA events. You're like, wearing a tap-out shirt? Where do you train? No one says, you wearing a Phillies hat? Where do you pitch? It's just, it's growing pains. And from being there before the sport even existed, it's very fucking annoying. And I just can't wait for it to be at the next level. And the growing pains of, oh, fucking, just good luck, UFC. Your fans are fucking kind of scumbags, especially the American fans. I mean, I don't want to point fingers, but, dude, it's just fucking annoying as shit. All right, that question went way too long. Let's fucking scoop it up. Bam, bam. Hulk Hogan returns next week. Hulk Hogan returns to WWE Monday Night Raw August 11th. So there you go. Bam. And also, we talked about this earlier, but people still asked us for thoughts on it. So, Booms, get ready. First off, Booms, are you excited about his return Raw August 11th, or who gives a shit? Hogan's. All right. Booms is giving it who gives a shit look. But a lot of people asked us on social media to go over this. I think we touched it a little bit, but Booms, I'll let you go first. They want to know what we think about Hulk Hogan, and all these stories on CocoSports.net. Hulk Hogan says he's training for one last match with John Cena, possibly at WrestleMania. Everyone's losing their shit and wants our opinions. Booms, you had some time to think about it. What's your thoughts? Hulk Hogan, John Cena at WrestleMania.
This is assuming he can pass the WWE physical and actually be able to go. I'd be interested to see what the hell happens here. Because remember when Hulk Hogan wrestled Shawn Michaels, I think this was circa 2005, correct me if I'm wrong, you know, Hogan by that point I don't think was even doing falling backwards on the mat. I mean, his hips were fucking gone. So I'd be interested to see how they're doing this. With it would be like when John Cena carried The Rock at WrestleMania 28. You know, that was just, oh God, that was fucking horrible. So, not really. I'm not really looking forward to it. If it was indeed going to be Hulk Hogan's last match, not his last match, because I've been promised, 3 of those already in my lifetime. So, if it's indeed going to be his last match, then sure, why not? Let's let him go out on a high note, and only if he promises never to wrestle again. But if it's just, you know what? And I guess I'd rather have those two wrestling each other than in separate matches and stinking up the joint. But it's interesting to see how John Cena's going to have to sell this, because Hogan's not going to do falls. He's not going to take a bump. So I'm interested to see how Cena's going to sell that. He's going to have to oversell it like Shawn Michaels did.
Yeah, you know what? I hate Hulk Hogan. I hated him even when I was a kid. Like, nothing pisses me off more than someone said, oh, like, they just assume. I fucking hate that. They're like, well, you were a Hulkamaniac when you were a kid. I told this story a million times, but you know what? I'm going to fucking make sure people understand. I was not a Hulk Hogan fan as a kid. I fucking despised Hulk Hogan. Dave Tease, who now works at PW Insider, we grew up together. We were both, I don't know, I hate to say this because he might not be. We were both very fucking, but even when we were white or trash, maybe I should have used his real name. I feel bad. I love you, Tease. But we would get pay-per-views no matter what. And my house was WCW, his house was WWE, and I remember it was about 45 to 2 hour walk. I don't know. We were kids. It was a long time to walk. And we would always watch WCW and everyone stayed, and then we'd go to his house for WWF and everyone stayed. And I remember when Hulk Hogan came on, I just left. I knew he was going to win. Before the internet came, I thought I was the only boy in the world who liked Ric Flair over and WCW over WWE. I grew up in the Northeast, New Jersey, and in that area, WWF was dominant, and everyone liked Hulk Hogan, and not me, dude. I'm like, dude, I got a 45 minutes to 2 hour walk. Why the fuck am I? He's gonna win. And then the next day, Tease would call me. You know, back then we didn't have hotlines and websites. We actually called each other to have conversations about wrestling. And Tease would call me and be like, "Hey, you're right, he won." And I'm like, "No shit." And I got home fucking early. So I always hated Hulk Hogan and John Cena. I don't know if anyone knows this. There might be some new viewers. I am not a big fan of John Cena. And I hate both these guys with a passion. And it doesn't matter what age. It's just, I hated Superman. I'm wearing a Chris Hero Superman looking hat, but still, I hated him. What's the point? You're not a fucking hero. It's like playing Madden on easy. You're not fucking good. You're just on the easy level. John Cena and Hulk Hogan are pro wrestlers on the easiest level. If I bought WWE 2K fucking 17 and I put it in and I put it on easy level and I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, King Kong Bundy's won every title and it's on easy, it doesn't fucking matter. Bump up the thing. They live life in the easy lane. It's just, who gives a shit? They're gonna fucking win. With that said, yeah, I'd like to see the match. I would root for it. The reason I would root for it is because if Hulk Hogan's coming back and John Cena's coming back, it's a numbers game. They're definitely going to have matches. But if they go against other people, that's two separate matches. If they go against each other, that's just one match. Just one match. I would rather have two, I'd rather have one. Well, I'm fucking getting confused now with the numbers. Why is my doctor saying I should stay in the hospital longer? But I'd rather have one bad match than two horrible matches. And I don't know. I think they could put on a nice, simple match and people would get into it. So there you go. Bam. All right. Another return that we really care about, Kenta. Kenta is, they're talking about WWE on-screen debut, could be intimate. They were at both him and Prince Devitt were backstage at the most recent NXT television tape-ins. And there's talking about that they're going to bring him back soon. And I hope so. I've been watching NXT, and pretty much, if you don't like Tyson Kidd losing matches because he's too concerned over his wife, then you're not going to like NXT. Because that's the only thing that's going on right now. And Charlotte. Charlotte's having great matches. But I think they need to pack it up. And I hope September 11th, Kenta and Prince Devitt appear. There's also been talks Kevin Steen, but they don't know when he's going to appear. Because let me tell you, Kenta, Prince Devitt appear on the September 11th show, which is supposed to be like their big pay-per-view. Kevin Steen appears. NXT, since their last big pay-per-view, which everyone praised, well, most people praise, has been completely fucking boring as shit. It's been the best WWE show. But like I said, it's been boring as shit. And if you don't like Tyson Kidd and Natalya's storyline, you are fucking bored as shit with this show. So I'm just saying, dude, Kenta, Prince Devitt, Steen, if you even give just two of those, how much does NXT become, oh, it's the Tyson Kidd show, to, holy shit, I can't miss a fucking single episode of this. I don't understand why. My theory, my theory, no facts whatsoever. The September 11th big show, Kenta and Prince Devitt have to show up. And maybe even Steen. I mean, they have to do something. Because let me tell you, the roster they have now on NXT, it's funny because everyone on the bench being signed is so much better than everyone in the ring. So I think it's must-watch overnight. Overnight. Kenta, Prince Devitt, bam. Steen, must-watch overnight. So, Booms, your thoughts on Kenta's possible return and your thoughts on his return, when you think it's going to happen, and how would you do it? How soon? Last week?
To be honest, with an international star like Kenta, for one, I'm glad to see him here on US soil. I'm glad to see him wrestle. I would go ahead and just as soon as he's moved in and acclimated to everything, go ahead and start training him, get him on TV, get him used to that WWE style. And I'd say just let him hang around there till you're pretty sure he's got it. And then once he's got it, I think he's somebody you can shoot straight up there. Same thing with Prince Devitt. I mean, there's a lot of guys on there that are talented, particularly like Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville, who I think are ready, but for whatever reason are not showing up on the main roster yet. So as soon as they're ready, I would get them into NXT, and as soon as they're ready and they're comfortable with the WWE style from there, get them on the main roster. Let's have some fun.
All right, Boom's going to do some live comments real quick. All right, pal?
Okay.
If you're too sleepy, just tell me and tap out, because I think we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more stories and live comments. So I know you got...
We got to zip through now.
All right. Trey Beeman said, I'm really tired of Hogan saying Cena is the best of all time. It's like he's trying to get purple to like people to like Cena, and it's just not worth it. Yeah, it's worth it to him. He gets paid. Same thing with Ric Flair. If you don't think Ric Flair, Bret Hart, let's put it this way. Everyone's like, oh, well, look at if Hulk Hogan says it, it's got to be true. Yeah, okay. And if I say Lipton Lemon Iced Tea tastes great and I'm getting paid, is it true? No, it's not true. It's a fucking advertisement. And everyone that thinks Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart, not John Cena, and Ric Flair think John Cena's really the best and they're not selling out for a payday. You fucking don't know how wrestling really works. He doesn't. Dude, let's put it this way. If you think Hulk Hogan was in his prime, Ric Flair was in his prime, Bret Hart was in his prime, do you think they would want matches with him? Do you think they'd be like, oh, he's the guy, he's the fucking next star? Hogan would be burying him. Ric Flair would not even mention his name. Like, can you imagine Ric Flair in his prime? Not even in his prime, but he can still go. And someone going up to him like, what do you think of John Cena? Would he even dignify that with an answer? He would probably laugh his fucking ass off. Yeah, okay, Lex Luger. No, he fucking wouldn't. It's like asking... I don't know. It's a commercial. They're old. They got nothing left in life. This is the last payday they have. They want to get John Cena over. Dude, think about it. If I wanted a job in WWE, wanted WWE sponsorship, I'd be like, John Cena's the greatest! Dun, 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 dun. It's just selling out. Michael Jackson, probably his favorite drink wasn't Pepsi. That's all I'm saying. It's a commercial. That's all it is. It's a paid advertisement. And people are like, well, whatever is in TNA? Do you not think Hulk Hogan wanted to return to WWE? You don't think Kurt Angle wants to return to WWE? You don't think, that's why. It's just a commercial. That's all it is. He doesn't fucking believe he's the best of all time. No one does. No one fucking does. Even Mick Foley. He's the most least sellout guy in the world. And, the whole thing is, even when people defend John Cena, they're defending it like the fucking annoying retard friend that you have. It's like, oh, come on, leave Bobby alone. Leave little Davey alone. He's just doing his YouTube videos. I mean, come on. It's a fucking advertisement. Boom, do you want to add anything else to Trey Breeman's thing?
That's a negative.
Mr. The King says, was Raw so bad you didn't do a stream? No. We talked about this earlier, and then we're going to go back to the news. Mr. The King, Booms did a live broadcast on the wrong channel because I was stuck in the hospital. But there will be a link in the doobly-doo when this show is over. All right. Booms, can you man up for 5 more stories? You got it in you?
Yeah, let's zip through it, man. We gotta
All
hurry.
right. Paul Heyman says Brock Lesnar would consider returning to the UFC. Oh yeah, because he's a big draw, pay-per-view buys. Of course he would. Why wouldn't he? And not only that, but it's so funny because everyone made fun of Overeem for calling out Brock. Well, if I was a heavyweight fighter, I'd call out Brock too. It's guaranteed fucking money. It's guaranteed money. Yeah, they could have a rematch with Overeem. There's already a story. There's already a hype into it. Overeem beat his ass, but then failed the drug test. Can Overeem beat Brock Lesnar fucking without using illegal enhancements? Yeah, I could see it. And not only that, but, you know, TNA and Bellator, despite to me, is trying to do the crossover. But WWE and UFC doing a crossover would be amazing. And not only that, but Overeem is the type of guy that would do pro wrestling. So even if Overeem beats him, you could have the rematch in a couple of years in a steel cage at WrestleMania. Yeah, Brock Lesnar is just pure pay-per-view money. So Paul Heyman just talked about it. But now, this is just it on Coco Sports. WWE's Paul Heyman contacted to train UFC champion John Jones. What could they be possible? What could Paul Heyman train John Jones in? Jiu-jitsu? Striking? Boxing? No, he's training him for promos and interviews. I think someone's starting to become more entertaining than you, Triple H. Why does UFC use Paul Heyman better than WWE does? Booms, your thoughts on Paul Heyman's news break. First, he's training. Did you ever think we'd have a headline on Coco Sports where WWE's Paul Heyman contacted the trained UFC champion John Jones? Even though it says for promos and interviews, did you ever think those words would ever be connected? And the second thing is,
I don't think they would be connected.
Brock Lesnar, UFC, your thoughts?
The only way that Brock Lesnar's returning to the UFC is if WWE, through whatever budget cuts or whatever, decides not to renew his contract or extend his contract, or they go into negotiations where Lesnar wants more money. I think that's just the back door that Lesnar's going to use now. Because I mean, right now, instead of does he have to go back to UFC? Right now, it's August. It's August, and he's about to wrestle his second match of the year. And he makes, I mean, more money. I think he makes more money standing in the ring doing that little bobble back and forth, throwing punches than me and Dave Kokos will make together, combined our incomes ever in our lives. So, no, I don't think he's going to go back to UFC until WWE just says, you know, Brock, we're really hurting right now. We've had to, you know, let some wrestlers go. We've had to let some employees go. We're cutting back, so we really can't justify paying your salary. Until that happens, Brock is staying right where he's at because it's guaranteed money. He makes good money. He's not actually getting hurt, at least not seriously, and he's wrestling at 3 times a year, if that.
Now,
I wouldn't want to pass up on that gig.
Hear me out. I'm gonna do a little wrestling theory, okay? I'll put on my wrestling theory cap. Hear me out. We know Paul Heyman is an honest gentleman that wouldn't swindle anyone. We know that. Am I correct about that? I mean, if there's anyone that's ever worked with Paul Heyman, they always say honest gentleman that would never swindle anyone. I mean, I've seen all the shoot interviews. Is that an accurate description of our beloved Paul Heyman?
Of course.
Now, I'm wondering if this gentleman who has such a great reputation is only doing this kind of as a negotiation tactic. Like, Brock Lesnar really has no interest in going fight in the UFC. Paul Heyman really is just, you know, high five. He's doing what Steven Seagal did with Anderson Silva, just hanging out around John Jones helping him. Do you think that possibly this is just guaranteeing more money for the honest Mr. Heyman and Brock Lesnar?
I have no idea.
I mean, thinking like that means you have to question Paul Heyman's integrity, and I don't even want to think like that. All right. Let's see. We talked about this earlier, but we'll talk about it real quick. People are wondering, because we're a bunch of player-hating motherfuckers, are we happy for Dave Batista? Marvel's Guardian of the Galaxy, according to David Cooey on Coco Sports, which probably went up. This has been August 3rd. I don't know what day it is now. That's when you know you've been in the hospital too long. Made 160.4 million global debut, and probably more. And people are putting this movie over like $1 million. And I actually didn't illegally download it. I'm waiting for it to come in theater so I can pay it for it. But are we upset about Dave Batista? I guess is how they're phrasing it. Are we a bunch of player hating motherfuckers? And no, I wish him nothing but success. I hope they forget about the 2-year contract. I hope he becomes like. There's this rumor, Don Tony. Let's just put it this way. Don Tony, I enjoy your show. With that said, how does Dave Batista's cock taste? If anyone can get that to Don Tony, I appreciate that. I love his show. Make sure you leave that part in, because, you know, I don't want to start a flame war without knowing how much I love his show. I love Don Tony's podcast. With that said, how does Dave Batista's cock taste? He has this theory that people hate him because he's a bully, he's this, he's that, we want to be like him, all this bullshit, and like he'll fuck the girl, and that's not the case. I met him in Tampa. Dave Batista is awkwardly cool. Dave Batista is a great guy. He's done tremendous things for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Tampa and doesn't put his name on it. If he wanted to, he could be the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Tampa hero, but he chooses not to. He keeps a low profile. He's a pretty cool, fucking awkwardly cool guy, and besides him wanting to fuck everyone's girlfriend, I wish him nothing but success. The only time I hate Dave Batista is when he steps in the ring. If he's never a wrestler again, that's great. Go be fucking everyone. Be every superhero. Be the most successful actor in the fucking world. Rock who? Fuck you, Dave Batista, bitch. Become the next UFC champ. Become the greatest human being in the world. Just don't fucking ever come to wrestling. Please forget about that 2-year contract. Just go away. I root for you. I want you to make money. I want you to be success. I hope you become the great. I hope people are like, I hope you become so fucking popular that people don't know who Brock Lesnar is in MMA and they don't know who The Rock is in this. I just don't want you ever to enter a wrestling ring. That's it. That's it. As a matter of fact, too far. Yeah, you know, I always get that stupid little girly giggle when I'm thinking about saying a joke too far. But you know what? The girly giggle came out. That means the joke go too far. I'll let you fuck my girlfriend and my wife if you just don't fucking wrestle, okay? I know you've had some great girlfriends, Morrisons, but just don't come back. I'll just be like, excuse me, honey. Yeah, you have to fuck Dave Batista. Why? I can't see him return to the wrestling ring. I just can't. I can't do it. Moms, are you willing to sacrifice your fiance so Batista doesn't come back? Too far?
Ooh, that is a tough one. That is a tough one. But if it spares me from another decade of boring wrestling, I'm willing to consider it.
So there you go. I wish nothing, but just don't ever return. And I know what scares me every time. I'm like, yeah, Dave Batista is so successful, maybe he'll never return. There's always some guy, he's got 2 years left. Let's just forget about it. Speaking of forgetting about it, WWE wants us to forget about CM Punk, but it looks like Dave Meltzer claims that CM Punk and WWE would be heading for legal battle. Just, you know, you want the fans to let it go. You let it go. I don't know. I have mixed feelings. I'm going to tell you how I feel because, you know, if I was Vince McMahon, how would I handle it? And I don't know. Through time, when I was young, I ran a lot of businesses, and I was an asshole. I just was a fucking prick. And now I run a handful of things, and I just don't have the energy to be an asshole anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I could be an asshole, but now I'll pay someone else to be an asshole to run my companies. So, like, it depends what version of me, what I would do. Young asshole me running companies? Oh, I would have sued them fucking from day one. I pay someone else to run my companies, lazy fucking hippie asshole me? I would just let it go. I don't think there's a fucking benefit in it. Yeah, you're going to get money. Who gives a shit? Just let it go. I don't know. So it just depends. I ran businesses having 2 different things. Yeah, young me would have probably sued the fucking living shit out of them from day one. Old me is like, dude, you don't want to be here? Fucking leave. You know, so I don't know. I don't know. What would you do if you were Vince McMahon? If you were Vince McMahon, because obviously we're CM Punk nut huggers. We love CM Punk. We take CM Punk's side on everything. There's an asterisk on that. But what would you do if you were Vince? Younger me sues the shit out of him. Older me is like, I'm fucking tired. I don't even have it in me.
You know what? I would honestly just, let it go because they quit paying them, so, they weren't wasting any money on them. And who knows by like him leaving how many jobs they wound up saving there. Yeah, I know they cut some people, but maybe they didn't cut more people because of him. He gave, and I think you need to leave the door open for a return. I never thought Bruno Sammartino would ever be in the WWE Hall of Fame because I thought he would never agree to it. He did. I never thought Ultimate Warrior would ever come back. He did. I never thought I'd see Jake Roberts in a WWE ring ever again. That happened. So I think CM Punk will make his return now. In what capacity, that remains to be seen. But I would just say let it go. Let everything cool down. Don't burn any bridges. And that goes for Punk too. Just come back in about a year or two, or 5 years, or 10 years, just whenever you're not mad anymore, and just come back. I mean, that's happened with bands before. I mean, come on, think about it. Van Halen, they got David Lee Roth back. I mean, come on. The Eagles got back together. They were pissed off at each other for a good 20 years. The Go-Go's got back together after being pissed off at each other for so long. I mean, so, just for some people it takes longer than others.
My whole thing is, down in the comments, I'm kind of interested about this. If you ran a business, I don't know if you have experience running businesses, but, like I said, I'm two extremes, just the way I run businesses now and how I ran businesses when I was younger. So I just wonder, if you were Vince McMahon, because everyone pictures themselves as CM Punk, because, it's easier to picture yourself as an employee, and it's easier to picture you as being angry and walking away. What would you do if you were Vince? All right. We'll go to some live comments. Market Carded says, there's no question Hogan's being paid to put over Cena. Do you honestly think Flair would be fucking bowing to Cena like he did the other week? No, and you can even see it. Look how much... I used to study faces in the Marine Corps because they believe you can read faces. They did TV shows about this. How accurate it is. Hey, you can fucking argue about that. But just, you want to see a defeated man who feels bad about selling out? Watch the film footage of him leaving the promo and putting John Cena over and walking to the ramp. That is a man who has sold out. That is, if you're like, wow, what does a face look like when you sell out and don't feel good about it? Ric Flair's walk from the ring towards Cena is that face. You might as well send that to fucking Sniper Academy 101. Yeah, so he sold out. It's good for him, I guess. I don't know. If you want to see Cena lose, you got to pay $9.99. LOL from Mr. the King.
Mm-hmm.
Market Card, third match. If you count Big Show at the Rumble, LOL. Oh, yes. So I guess he's talking about Batista. What do you think Kane is going to do this time? This is from Trey Bremen. Me personally, I just hope he takes time off. I don't know. I just think he takes time off. I do not like the plot holes. At least Libertarian Kane was a fresh start, and you can kind of erase the plot holes. But being Libertarian Kane and then going back to being a monster just adds another plot hole onto it. Booms, what do you think Kane is going to do this time?
I think he's about to wrap it up. I don't think he's going to be completely gone yet, but his career is winding down.
Yeah, I like the guy behind the mask. I just hated his character. Do you still think Rusev is being groomed for Cena, or do you think they'll let Swagger finish on the storyline at SummerSlam? That's from Market Card. That is a great question. That's one of those questions I'm going to use the most powerful words in the English language and say, I don't know. I think Swagger's popularity was really a surprise from everybody. Even Swagger, go back and he's like, what the fuck? People are cheering for me? Everyone was surprised by this. SummerSlam, what scares me is that it's in SummerSlam. If this was another pay-per-view or just a thing, because in SummerSlam, it's the WrestleMania of the summer, it's their second biggest event according to WWE, and the good guys usually win, and it's storylines there. So I think Rusev, there's a possibility he's being built up for Kurt Angle. There's a possibility he's being built up for John Cena. But I don't know. I don't think the popularity of Swagger and people just getting into this 80s rebooted cheese is amazing. I don't know. Everything tells me Swagger should win, but if they are really negotiating with Angle, I don't know, because I think if Rusev loses at SummerSlam, does his 80s cheese / push still continue? I'm going to say I don't know, but if I had a gun to my head, I think everything points to Swagger winning, and it was done by surprise. Booms, gun to your head, answer the question.
Something tells me right now I think they're going to keep going with it. They're going to eventually feed him to Cena. They're not, well, but...
It's a tough call. Good job, WWE. Too bad it's just fucking done in a flag match. But then who knows? Maybe he loses a flag match and the next week beats the shit out of him. A flag match isn't a good match.
Maybe Rusev wins by disqualification. They finally had enough, and boom, they crack Rusev over the head with the Stars and Stripes. Swagger gets the upper hand, but Rusev wins the match. Maybe you could do that.
It's a possibility. So I don't know. The only problem with that is I don't see them not having a clean finish at SummerSlam. But then again, WWE has fucked shit up before. Franielli says, do you guys think WWE would use Batista's movie success for a storyline? I think they would, but it seems like there's tension. Because why the fuck wouldn't they mention Guardians of the Galaxy? I think there's a contract thing. And you gotta remember, Dave Batista's agent threw WWE under the bus in a couple quotes earlier this year. The fact that they're not mentioning Dave Batista's success, dude, if this was The Rock or John Cena and if they had good turn, why wouldn't you? It's the hottest movie going right now. I have not seen it. I want to see it, but I want to pay for it. So I gotta wait because I live in Japan. But everyone on Facebook's like, I'm going again. It's the hottest fucking movie out right now. There's not a perfect marriage there. I think Dave Batista returning was bad for WWE and Dave Batista. As a matter of fact, I wonder if they waited. Imagine, because my whole thing is, I hate Dave Batista, you hate Dave Batista, a lot of people hate Dave Batista, but Guardians of the Galaxy everyone loves. Maybe if they waited and had his return after the Guardians of the Galaxy, it would have been done better. But I think there's legit tension because anytime Dave Batista's agent talks, they throw WWE under the bus, and Dave Batista's just trying to redo his image, like, hey, I'm not an asshole, guys. Really, it's not me. His documentary, dude, 99%. You want to hear the documentary? A lot of people think I'm an asshole, but really I'm not. There, I just summed up the 3-hour documentary. There, you fucking save yourself some money. But yeah, I don't know. I think there's tension there because there's no. Why wouldn't you report this? Why wouldn't you put this over the fucking top of the moon? What do you guys think about the idea? Besides the fact that you do not like him as a wrestler. He's talking about. So he's talking about Miz versus Batista. Yeah, there's a storyline built in. I just think. I don't know if people would still root for Batista. I don't. People hate him as a pro wrestler. And who's going to be the heel? Is the Miz going to be the heel? His face. Who's going to be the face? That's the bigger question. I don't know. I think I'm going to be completely honest. Triple H and Batista are friends. I think they made a huge mistake, and I think they both know it, and they don't know how to fix the mistake. Mr. the King says, I would sue for the days he did not work for paying him for nothing. I didn't give him a shot for nothing. All right, so Mr. the King says, if he was Vince McMahon, I would sue for the days he did not work. I'm not paying him for nothing. I didn't give him a shot for nothing. All right, so he says he would sue him for the days he didn't work. All right, couple of rants here, Mr. the King. All right, 12. Oh, we'll save that to the end, Mr. the King. That's a lot of rants. All right, bam, last story, Booms, and you can tap out. If not, and then, I got to mention that we're number 3. We're number 3. Coming up. All right, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh, this is a short story. I should have did this before comments. Stone Cold Steve Austin hosts WWE 2K15 roster reveal. I'm really excited about that. Very gaming nerdy. I think this is how you should use Legends. 2K. You know what? Good job. I work in advertising, and you have to give props when advertising's done well. WWE 2K, I'm not buying your game because John Cena's on the cover. John Cena, you can pay $100 for the Hulk Hogan package, and Hulk Hogan's not on the game's cover. You get all this Hulk Hogan stuff. Dude, I would have paid $100 easily. Easily! If John Cena wasn't going to come. I did not buy merchandise with John Cena's face on it. I am upset with you, 2K, about that. How can you charge $100 for a Hulk Hogan package, and you get all this Hulk Hogan stuff, and the game still has John Cena on it? I'm not buying it. But anyway, besides my insane hatred for John Cena, I know it's insane. 2K15, great job advertising. I work in advertising, and I just respect people that do a great job. And 2K really fucking knocked it out of the park. Booms, I know you don't play video games as me, and I know I'm more of an old school gamer, but this excites you a little bit. I mean, I think 2K is doing a perfect job. I would buy the game, make any version without John Cena on the cover. You have my money. Booms, you watched Stone Cold returning 2K15 roster reveal. Do you think there'll be any surprises? Do you give a shit?
No, not really. I haven't played a modern video game in God knows how long.
All right. Do you want to talk about how we're number 3? We're number 3. Or do you want to go into what's that?
This is gonna have to be it because I've got to go to bed.
All right, folks. I'll put a link down in doobly-doo. I'll also do his Raw review. We have a member of the internet infantry that we love, Wrestling Ranting, and he decided to rank the top 10 wrestling YouTubers / podcasters, right? And he was kind enough, and I use the word kind enough, to put us number 3. Now, in the beginning, he's like, oh, it doesn't really matter the order. But no, it does matter the order because, let's be honest. But my whole thing is, when I was watching it, I was like, oh, number 10. Okay, we're not number 10. Okay, we're going to make it. Like, this is my reaction. I want to just recap it. I don't want to spoil the rest of them. But I was like, oh, number 10. Okay, we were better than them. They're just kind of a clip show. Number 9, okay, we do something a little different. Then they're at number 8, and I'm like, whoa, he's pretty good. Maybe we can make it debate that we're better than him. Then they're on number 7. And I was like, what the fuck? They didn't put us in the top 10. I kid you not, that was my response. And then, as it's going, I'm like, dude, we're not good as number 8. We're nowhere near as good as number 7. We're not as... Dude, number 5, I lost my shit. I was totally upset with Wrestling Ranting. I'm like, come on! We deserve to be at least number 9 or 8 on this fucking list. How fucking dare you, Wrestling Ranting? I'm emotionally breaking down. And then it's number 4. And I'm just like, all right, I see how it is, Wrestling Ranting. You're not in my top 5. I'm being all bitter and jealous. And then he's number 3. And I was I got a little emotional. Huh, number 3? Us? Are you fucking kidding me? Did you not see 4 through 7? There's no way we're better than them. I think we might be a little better than number 2. Fucking ass kisser. Number 2. And number 1, I knew about number 1, but I never really watched him. And then I won't say who number 1 is, but I watched him and was like, holy shit, he's pretty goddamn good. So I appreciate you putting us in the top 10. I don't think we should be in your top 3. I'm just being honest. There are some really good people on that list. But being top 3, it was an emotional roller coaster. Because I was like, oh, 10, okay, 9, all right, a little different. 8, I was like, oh, fuck, he's pretty good. And by 7, I was like, how do we not make the list? So thank you for making us number 3. We are not that good. Down below, put some of your favorite reviewers, because we want to work with YouTubers. And we have an idea that we have in the future for working with YouTubers. So put some of your favorites down. I like Bruce Blitz because he pays me to spam everyone. Oh, shit. Did I say that out loud? But no. There's not many people I absolutely hate. I just hate when people come by and fucking be punk-ass bitches on comments. But besides that, not much I hate. It's just opinions. But yeah, I'd like to see what you guys listen to. All right. Booms, you want to tap out, or do you want to do some more comments?
I'm tapping out. I want to thank everybody, but I've got to go to work in the morning. So until then, check us out at cocosports.com and get well soon, Dave.
All right. Can I answer more questions, or do you think I'll be having an affair, staying late night, wearing trashy dresses?
You can start answering all the questions you want, because I guarantee by the time I wake up in the morning, you'll still be answering questions.
Well, I know, but it's one of those things, ending a podcast where one guy has to go to bed and do work, and you continue on. it's kind of like you're at a nightclub and you're dressing all hoary, and you're like, well, I'll keep staying. I don't need to go home with her. And then I wind up later being raped. And you're like, yeah, see? That's what you get doing the podcast without me.
Well, that's fine. You can keep going.
I'm going to get some hate mail for that last joke. But anyway, Booms, the stage is yours. Do you have anything special to say? Say something extra special.
Well, check us out at KokoSports.com. That's KOCOSports.com. It's your home for all combat sports. That includes mixed martial arts, boxing, pro wrestling, amateur wrestling, sumo wrestling, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, judo. If you can get your nose broke doing it, man, we got you covered there 24/7. Be sure to check out our news and gossip section as well as our video on demand section. It's available 24/7 at KokoSports.com. It's where the world goes to kick ass.
Tip my hat to you, sir. Thank you. I love you. And you can just hang up now, unless you want me to kick you out. But then if I kick you out, they're like, do you want it? Like, the thing is about Google Hangouts, like, I like to kick out Boom Boom because he's sleepy. And then, like, in Google Hangouts, it's like, do you want to kick out Boom Boom and fucking kick his dog and never talk to him again? I'm like, no, Google, I just want him to go away. Okay? We're still good. Like, Google is like the friend who's like, are you guys fighting? Do you hate each other? Like, Google Plus, no, I don't want to ban him for life. I need some time alone to answer some questions. That's all. We're still friends. Google Plus. Anyway, Booms, you're gonna have to hang out.
All right. See you guys later. See you soon. And no, yeah, I am over.
I'm gonna sue Boom Boom for a copyright infringement. I'm taking that son of a bitch to court. Smackdown. All right. So we got some breaking news here from editor. SmackDown is returning Thursdays as per WWE's new promotional materials. So, according to WWE's promotional materials, which they leaked out before and have messed up and brought back, but according to new promotional stuff, that it's returning to Thursdays. And I think it's better. I really do. Man, Thursday's going to be packed. NXT, SmackDown. Well, they can always move NXT very easily. And TNA. But maybe it's... I'm wondering, like, there's a part of me here, and obviously WWE pretends they don't care about TNA, but I think the September 11th pay-per-view, and I think SmackDown possibly moving to Thursdays, they're trying to kill off TNA while it's still hot. So, you know, because right now, after TMZ leaked out that Spike is canceling it, everyone, our Impact ratings went up for just us personally. It didn't go up for the show, surprisingly, the real Impact, but... everyone's talking about it, so I don't know if it's death blow or just, hey, because my whole thing is I'm old and I only work like 2 hours a day outside my house, so like people are like, it's Friday night, let's go party. I'm like, dude, I have 3 kids, I'm 900 years old, and I'm pretty much fucking retired thanks to health problems. Friday night is just like, wow, there's a lot of people out. I should stay home and play fucking video games all night. But I imagine if I wasn't old, I didn't have fucking more kids than Pokemon, and I fucking had to work a regular job, I'm sure it would fucking be a fucking annoyance to watch it on Friday night. Plus, I live in Japan, so Friday night is Saturday morning for me. Let's see, live comments. Send in the live comments. When they start slowing down, we'll be ending this. Hold on. Bam. Bam. Here we go. All right. Mr. the King, we're back to you. All right. Couple of rants here. Well, one. Why did WWE promote cheating? Chris Jericho has to defeat people so they don't cheat. I just don't like that. Yeah, I don't know. I guess they just don't want to make people look too strong. I guess because Chris Jericho is so popular. I don't know. I don't really have an answer for you. What happens after Rusev and Swagger? That's good choice. Rusev is not progressing. He is running in place. And I agree. And the reason he is running in place is because no one expected Swagger to get over and cheered as much as he did. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're saving him up for Kurt Angle to make the save. Maybe they're saving him up for John Cena. I don't know. But the problem that it is Swagger not winning at SummerSlam does not fit into WWE's formula. And WWE really, really loves the formula. All right. Number 4, Adam Rose became worse than ever in Damien Sandow 2.0. Yeah, poor Adam Rose and Damien Sandow. That's just... I personally, when I booked wrestling, and if I fucked up, I would always go to the athletes and apologize. I don't think enough people do that in creative, especially WWE, FCW. They really treat those athletes like shit. They have to kiss ass. But someone needs to go to Adam Rose and Damian Sandow and fucking apologize. I mean, you're ruining these people's fucking careers with your badass stories. Dean Ambrose Seth feud is stupid. Why don't Roman Reigns do something? He was stabbed in the back too. They took away what the feud was about, which was the Shield breakup. Yeah, just because they're trying to push him to be a golden boy and they have to push him to the top, it's kind of like it takes away from the Dean Ambrose and Seth feud because they're like, well, he doesn't really give a shit about the breakup because he just cares about going to the Golden Land and narrated it down. It is bad booking. The only thing is, in WWE's defense, which will bring back the big guy, is he does have money in the bank. So he does have the briefcase. So there's a possibility that could lead to some type of Shield type feud. So if, Roman Reigns wins the title and Seth Rollins says, oh, I'm going to take it back, I have money in the bank, then it could be a little possibility there. So that brings it back. Plus, there's reports everywhere that they want to reunite the Shield every few years like they did with DX. WWE needs to stop having the same matches all the time. The problem is not that it's boring, but the play, it's super safe with no chance. Yeah, this is not having good competition. They have a formula, it works, and they stick to it too much. Like the whole, I'm distracted by the guy on the stage. It's the same fucking storyline over and over and over again. And if we're lucky, they add stuff. A lot of people are putting over Jericho Wyatt. Why? You've already seen the movie. You've already seen the show. Jericho Wyatt is Cena Wyatt. It's the same exact fucking thing. They just added a little salt and pepper to that. I think the problem is they're number one. They're hurting for subscribers, and they don't know any better. It's like a writer who only has one good novel. They're like, well, here's my one good novel. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. A writer that's really popular that I really love. He writes young adults literature. John Green. John Green, he just wrote, didn't write, but, the movie just came out, Fault in Our Stars. It's a really good book, but there's two complaints, but one is kind of bullshit. The one complaint is, it's over-the-top dramatic, but it's a love story, so of course it's going to be over-the-top dramatic as far as the kids speaking. And the second one is he tells the same story. It's the same story over and over and over. And WWE is in that problem. Only, they're not making tons of money like John Green is. They're losing money telling the same story. So they might have to change it up and retell the same story. And I get that sometimes, too. I write a lot of comic books, vigilante, bad guys are really good guys, vice versa. And you have to worry about it. But at the same time, you're a writer. You write what you enjoy. The problem is, no one enjoys it. I don't even think WWE Creative enjoys it. They just stick to the formula. Someone has to slap them in the face. Someone has to change the formula. I mean, come on. How often is someone going to be distracted by someone on the fucking movie? It gets fucking ridiculous. I think, what is the meeting go? Here we go. Hulk Hogan versus John Cena. Book it. All right, there's someone on the outside and they distract him, and that's how they get the win. All right, Stephanie McMahon versus Melina. Book it. Okay, Melina and Stephanie are fighting, and someone distracts them, and then bam, they get the win. It's like, dude, stop. No one is allowed to distract anyone ever again for at least a good 6 months. It's just the formula that they know. And that's the thing. WWE has made a lot of money on the formula, so when you're not creative, you go back to what you know. And that's it. They're not creative people. They go back to what they know. They go back to the formula. Then number 6, they need to relax. This is all from Mr. the King, by the way. Thank you for all these comments. 6, they need to relax on the word bitch. They're making it seem like it's not actually a bad word. Mothers of America will have multiple strikes on WWE for excessive use of inappropriate words and advertising alcohol to minors. Yeah, the problem is WWE is booked in this problem. They're not creative. They're not. And I get this a lot because I write very controversial stuff, and I hope to have a book out by December with my own name, because I do a lot of, I'll help you write a book, and pay me, and I'm the Brock Lesnar of fucking writers. So I'm hoping that people enjoy my next story. But I write a lot of controversial stuff, and when you write a lot of controversial stuff, people are like, well, you can't tell a story. You're not creative. To write a good PG product, you have to be a 10 times better writer than someone who writes shit. You know, like, example, if you write a story for Pixar, you're way more talented than WWE, especially if it's good. If you write WWE and you don't write books where there are no limits, you can write anything offensive, you're a better writer. So it's one of those things that they're trapped, that they're fans. They want fucking gory, fucking over the top, entertainment, extreme entertainment, pushing the envelope, but the advertisers want Pixar. And WWE's trapped. And that's why they're using the word bitch. They're trying to push the Attitude Era agenda to try to win people over and buy the network and win over the real audience. Because no matter what John Cena says, no matter what WWE says to advertisers, you know what the real audience is? Teens to nerds. That is their fucking audience. If you're not a teenager, you're a fucking nerd. That is their audience. Now, granted, you do have a Stone Cold Steve Austin audience, but the problem is the Stone Cold Steve Austin audience is gone forever. Because everyone that has Stone Cold Austin's t-shirt, they changed it for tap-out t-shirts. So your real demographic is teen to nerd. And what they want is to push the envelope and to be entertained. Well, the problem is advertisers don't want that. Advertisers want you to be Pixar. But they're not creative enough to be Pixar. They're not creative enough to be Chikara. So their problem is they're trying to push the Attitude Era and see how far they can go. You know, South Park does a great job of this because South Park has a lot of rules they have to follow, but they still find ways to push the envelope. But South Park is creative. WWE isn't. And that's why they use the word bitch. That's why they're trying to push the storylines. And it's just, they're trapped. They're trapped. And it's the same thing with Be a Star. I honestly, if I was WWE, the first thing I'd say is we need to cancel Be a Star. It's the most ridiculous fucking, you know, well, who knows? Cigarette companies say, hey, don't fucking smoke, so that's just fucking ridiculous. Anyway, I hope that answered your question. But yeah, people are going to complain no matter what. Here's the thing. We live in a society where people just look. Like, I talked for 9 hours and made a joke about me being raped. There's someone that's going to be offended by that. We live in a society that people are going to be offended. And I wrote a real offensive book. Hopefully it comes out in December. And I remember I handed it to a publisher/editor, and he's a real emotional guy, and he kind of had tears in his eyes, and he's like, dude, fuck the world. They need to be offended. We live in a world where people that read books, the books are there to educate you. Even fiction books are there to educate you, to see a different view. You should definitely read books that offend you. There's no way. If you don't read books that offend you, what the fuck are you doing with your life? But we live in a world where people have the word trigger words. I don't know. I'm not in school, but I read something about this. What the fuck is a trigger word? Really? A trigger word? That might be offensive. The Great Gatsby has trigger words. Let that fucking sink in. That is fucking sadly pathetic, the world we've become in. We have a nation that's been coddled, and here's the worst part. This nation's been coddled and been abused at the same time. They have been they have been weakened, and are getting all our problems. You know, the baby boomers, they act like the baby boomers' worst generation ever. Our generation was lazy. The younger generation, you were pampered to feel special, while we burden you with all our problems. It's going to be a rough future. And I just feel bad. You're like, wow, I got to save all the world's problems because the baby boomers were fucking evil, and Dave's generation was lazy. And I have to save all the world's problems. Why? Don't be offended. Oh, you're being coddled. Look at you. Don't read anything about trigger words. Oh, you're probably going to have to serve in a war that you're going to have to pay for, and your kids are going to have to pay for. And really, that sucks. Everyone blames young people. I feel bad for young people. You're going to have to be the greatest generation ever if the human race and fucking society is going to even stay. But yeah, I think people are going to be offended no matter what. And WWE's problem is that they want to be advertisers. And that's why they should have went the sports route. They made a huge mistake going the entertainment route. And if I was an investor in WWE, which I'm not because, well, I invest, I believe that they made a huge mistake not going the sports route. They tried to stay so far away from the UFC where they should have went towards the UFC. Because if it was more sports than entertainment, they would be making a lot more money and people would be buying the networks more. Age of Paige, number 7. Age of Paige is Trish and Mickey feud reloaded. It's like having the same match. Sorry for this long comment. No, leave the long comments. I love the comments. I love interacting with people. I love having conversations. YouTube used to be that way. Don't worry about long comments. I know Boom Boom gets upset because he has a job where he works so goddamn hard. But if I'm not in the hospital, I'm just writing stories. So this might be the only interaction I had for the day. My life is sad. Don't ever grow up to be a writer. Someone described being a writer as this: people that love doing homework and never stop doing homework. But yeah, I agree. I get this complaint a lot. I agree it is, but they're trying to push the Attitude Era. They're trying to push this stuff. And you got to remember, in WWE's defense, which I buried WWE a lot, but in their defense, the Mickey Trish storyline never finished. AJ and Paige could finish that storyline and maybe do it. The problem is Trish and Mickey could push the envelope. You're trying to tell a story that pushes the envelope that had no ending. So what you're doing is you're rebooting a storyline that never really had a good, clear ending, and they could push the envelope. It's a very hard challenge. I would not want to be the head writer on that situation. So, but then, who knows? But I think a lot of it has to do with they're trying to push the Attitude Era in a PG world, and that's just bad. I hate to steal a line from Vince Russo. Oh, hold on. We got Vince Russo coming in right now. Vince, what do you got to say? I don't know what's going on, but nothing's my fault, bro. Pay me $2.99 to hear it now. Nothing's my fault. VinceRusso.net. I'm pretty sure that's not his website. But Vince Russo, I bust his balls a lot, but he did say one thing. You're either pregnant or you're not pregnant. There's no halfway being pregnant. Right now, WWE is halfway being pregnant, and I just quoted Vince Russo. What a fucking night. Market Garden. Another question. When Rusov's done, how do you think they'll use Lana? Lana's freaking crazy hot. She'll probably be. I don't know if Rusov, because people love reboots. People love remembering their childhoods. I don't know. There's a part of me, the more I think about it, maybe if Rusov loses, they'll still have him be strong in a character to get a reaction. Because I think a lot of these people that are cheering, this is just my humble opinion, you don't have to agree with this, but I think people that are cheering are not cheering because of the storyline, but it reminds them of when they were kids. So I could be wrong about that. But I think Lana has a job for life. She's fucking curvy and sexy. I don't know how she acts backstage. See, that's the thing with women and divas. It doesn't matter. No, fuck that. That's not fair. That's not fair. Let me rewind. Know what sucks about being a WWE wrestler of any sex? Talent and looks don't matter. It's all about kissing ass. Now, if you have talent, that helps tiny bit. If you have looks, that helps a lot. But all that matters is kissing ass. So really, I can only go off her performances. I think she'll have a job for a very long time. With that said, all she has to do is go to Stephanie and be like, why are you in the main event when ratings are going down? Then her career's over. All right, Eager Beaver. Kind of surprised Raw got a 2.86. Kind of surprised Raw got a 2.86 rating. Keeps getting lower every year. Oh, without a doubt. And not only that, but the network's not doing it. That's why I love Eager Beaver. You bring up a great point. And I love people that say if you don't like it, don't watch. WWE fans always return. It just shows you how much of a fucking piece of shit WWE loyalists they are. Really. Oh, they always return? Please, tell me the Attitude Era numbers. Oh, they return every week, right? Okay, tell me the numbers last year. You know what I mean? It's just fucking ridiculous. And how can you fucking say, oh, wrestling fans are fucking stupid, they'll fucking pay for anything? The network is failing. I don't understand the mentality in pro wrestling. Let's hate the fans. It's the fans' fault. It's the dumbest fucking mentality ever. And the thing is, I ran a show. There was shows, FIP, IPW, million times better. Million times better. And we outdrew them every fucking week with nothing but local talent. We never flew anyone in. Oh, that's not true. 99.9% of the time, we never flew anyone in. And we had always outdrawn them. And like, why? We treated fans with respect. It's entertainment. I get tired of how bad they treat the fans, and this fucking delusional, oh, we'll defend them to be no matter what. It's fucking mind-blowingly ridiculous. Like Triple H goes out there, our friend Mark. Well, guess what? My friend Mark ain't buying the network. How can you cut a promo, my friend Mark? Ha ha ha! Fans are stupid. Please, $9.99. Please, $9.99. That's one thing that I fucking hate about pro wrestlers and even YouTube. Oh, I turned on a webcam. I'm not a fan of it. It's the dumbest fucking mentality ever out there. It's just beyond fucking stupid. Eager Beaver, I love you, dude. And you know as much as I do, and you're at the same level as me, you just turn on a webcam. But no, there's some fucking people that are goddamn delusional. You're like, oh, I'm talking, and fucking my opinion's important, and you're a stupid Mark. It's fucking stupid. I wrestle in front of 25 people. Let me fucking make fun of fans. The success that I had in pro wrestling, where I made very good. Matter of fact, FCW, ask them what they think of me. Ask them. Ask Steve Kern. Ask them. I've been offered jobs. Because, why was I offered jobs? Because I drew fucking people. You know? And that's it. It's all that matters in promoting. And people are like, well, FIP had CM Punk. FIP had AEW. They had this. I'm going to come out. I'm going to shoot. 100% shoot. RF video, keep your mark. It's okay. Here's 100% shoot. I outdrew all these companies for one reason and one reason only. I treated the fans with respect, and they were coming to watch entertainment. Sports entertainment. That is the difference. Then you ask, well, how did you fucking draw 200, 400 people weekly, and TNA can't do that? To respect the fans. Not once. I remember going out. I remember we didn't have social media, but I remember I said, if you use the word mark, smark, or talk down to the fans, out of character. You can be like, you're a fat, you can do that. But if you say, oh, you're fucking stupid for paying for wrestling, or oh, you're a mark or a smart, never come back in the locker room. Never. And people are like, how do you fucking draw? What's the big secret? You have fucking nothing but local talent, and there's 400 crazy fans out there weekly, 3 times a week. Oh, you just fucking ran an event in a building and brought in fucking 3,000 to 5,000 people with no WWE stars. How did you do it, Dave? What's the big secret? I demanded that we treated the fans with respect. Yeah. I'm actually thinking about writing a. I'm gonna make a video, and no, the stupid indie promoters not gonna watch it. I'm gonna make a video. Top 100 tips, ideas, how to run a successful indie promotion. We weren't money marks. We were making money. We weren't fucking bad-mouthing anybody. It's so fucking stupid. And people are like, oh, Wrestling Raw fans are so fucking stupid. They always come back. True. It's not fucking true. You're delusional. And beyond being delusional, you are hurting what you love. And why? Because you want to feel special. How special are you wrestling in front of 10 people outside? Alright. Franielli, maybe 2K will do what they did last year with the cover, double-sided cover. Franielli, I'd like that. I'd like to see what the Japan version is, but I will not pay for John Cena being on the cover. The game is fucking rigged. And I'm not talking about 2K15. I'm talking about the game of WWE. People love 2K, they love the WWE games, they're going to buy it, and they're going to say, oh, it was because of John Cena. Well, no. I'm going to be that one asshole who doesn't buy it. Just not going to buy 2K. Be like, you're not a real gamer! And I love this, because, like, you're not a real gamer, you're not a real WWE fan. Oh, well, if you don't like John Cena, don't watch. But I'm like, no, John Cena's not on the cover, I'm not going to pay for it. When John Cena's champ, I don't buy WWE merchandise. I don't. Fuck them. But then it's so weird how you have such a double standard by the masses. Well, if you don't like something, don't pay for it. Franielli says, what are your thoughts on Bruce Blitz? And good night, Booms. Good night, Booms! You heard me. What are your thoughts on Bruce Blitz? I had no idea who Bruce Blitz was until I started doing this. I'm going to be completely honest. Here's a shoot interview about me and then Bruce Blitz. I wouldn't be doing this if my health wasn't bad. I worked in radio, I worked in television, and then I became a teacher and a writer, and I love being a teacher. I was actually going to sell Coco Sports and shut it down. Pablo and Jerry said, no, let's just keep it up and keep working. And then I got really sick, and now I see it as, well, I could be sick and dying and fucking be in front of a computer. Every now and then, once a day, I try in August. I could have fun and just talk shit, and it's fun to do. So if it wasn't for me being sick and me having, I get paid, I just don't go to work. So a lot of people are like, you're a fucking unemployed loser. I'm like, no, I get paid pretty goddamn well. I'm a history/English teacher in Tokyo at a really high-level school. I'm okay. But my doctors won't clear me to be a teacher because my memory is horrible, and I have really bad health issues where I have to go in the hospital. I used to have to go to hospital 3 days a week. Now, this week, I had to go twice. But prior to that, like a month and a half, I didn't have to go to the hospital. So I am improving. But my memory is really bad. That's why sometimes when I say a name, I'm like, oh, I don't know that guy's name. The big guy in the Shield. I said his name 800 times, but at this very second, I don't remember. So if it wasn't for my health problems, I probably would have shut down Coco Sports a long time ago. But Pablo wanted to rebuild it. Jerry wanted to rebuild it. David Cooey wanted to rebuild it. I was like, okay, I'll do it. So I was like, what can I do? I got a staff that does everything, and I'm like, oh, I can talk shit. I'll just do YouTube. Boom Boom and me and him did radio. We did, podcasting, all that shit together. So we got together and did it. And I didn't know Bruce Blitz existed. It never was my world. And then the Bruce Blitz Army, which came over, and they just started talking shit, saying, hey, go watch Bruce Blitz. And I'm like, that's a bitch move. We'll never do that with the internet infantry. It's a bitch fucking move. It's a bitch fucking move. And, I've already had 2 or 3 people admit that Bruce Blitz pays them. Now, are they full of shit? Maybe. But Bruce Blitz is successful. I like his business model. I like what he does. I say more power to him. But if Bruce Blitz pays these guys like they do, just to go and spam other YouTube videos, that's fucking pathetically weak and bitch ass. If he doesn't, these guys are just making it up, still, somewhere along the line, Bruce Blitz had to say, hey, go to other YouTubers and do it. I just don't believe people did that on their own. And I think that's wrong. I wish him nothing but success, but if he's paying people to spam or telling people to spam, it's bullshit. You can easily ask us, hey, do you want to say Bruce Blitz is also doing a show? Sure, no problem. Bruce Blitz is doing another show. I don't understand where YouTube pays us so little bit of money, just a tiny bit, and people sell out. At least Ric Flair is selling out for large amounts of money. If people leave, we've lost people to the internet infantry to Bruce Blitz Army. Fuck them, dude. Let them enjoy another show. But as far as Bruce Blitz, I think his shows are average. I don't think I would watch them. But then again, I don't know if I would watch my own shows. That's very dick of me, but there's some really good shows out there. Way better than Bruce Blitz. And I wish him nothing but success, and I hope he's making a full-time living. But the whole, I'm going to be a different account, or I'm going to pay someone, or I'm going to tell someone to go to other fucking YouTubers and talk shit and say, oh, you should check them and me out. It's guerrilla marketing that I'm way too old for, and it's really a bitch. That's just my opinion. Now, if he doesn't do that, which I doubt it, why would anyone make up that fucking story? Then I'm like, dude, you should say something. I would tell the internet infantry now, never go to another video. If you want to go to another video, be like, hey, I like Coco Sports, that's cool, but you don't need to knock someone else. There's plenty of views to go around. Don Tony, I like Don Tony, even though I told him to ask him Batista's dick days. I like other Wrestling Ranted. There's other shows. The internet's fucking huge. It's just weird. It's so funny because YouTube, before when they didn't pay us, everyone's like, let's work together. Now it's like, I got paid $7. Let's fucking ruin everything. And it's just like, dude, no. If you like Bruce Blitz, cool. I wish him nothing but success. Good luck. Would I watch him? Of Probably not. I mean, I would watch maybe some of his shorter videos, but at the same time, I do the same exact fucking thing he does. So to me, I just the only thing that bothers me about Bruce Blitz is his guerrilla marketing tactics. It's just very bitch-like. Outside of that, nothing. I like to know the fact that he only puts out one video for free, and then you have to pay for a video. I don't like that as a fan. I don't like that. It's a product I will never do. You know, Jerry and Pablo always like, we could do this with money and this and that. Well, no, we'll try to sell T-shirts, ad placements. That's as far as I'm willing to go. But a paywall, no, information should be free. But with that said, if he's successful at the paywall, as a guy who made money in internet marketing, I find that to be amazing. Good for him. But at the same time, when you go around and you tell people to say another show sucks, check out this show, and you pay them or tell them to do that, it's a bitch fucking move. It's just a bitch move. So I think that's the only thing that bothers me about Bruce Blitz. Besides that, yeah, I enjoy his content. I don't watch it that often, but I can badmouth his content. So yeah, there you go. That's my thoughts on Bruce Blitz. Now let the internet war fucking tremble. But Internet Infantry, thank you so much for supporting us. If you want, tell your friends about it, but don't do a bitch move. Don't go to another YouTuber and be like, and this is the worst part. This is common practice in YouTube. It's common practice to go to another video, say you suck, go check out us. It's fucking stupid. It's the dumbest fucking marketing bullshit ever. And know what sucks even worse? If it works. Like, if it doesn't work, it's scummy. But if it does work, that means not only is he scummy, but all his fucking viewers are fucking scummy. You can get it out there without doing it. Market Garden. This is a great question. Great question that's going to put us on blast. Why is it we've never seen you guys wearing these t-shirts you keep hawking at us? You know what? You are absolutely 100% I'm poor shit. I can't even afford my own goddamn t-shirts. Oh, Jerry and Pablo are going to write me. No, I would love to. Yeah, I'll buy the t-shirt and make it happen. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I only wear this because it's free. I actually, you know, this is definitely going to hurt my t-shirt sales. I do not wear clothes by any fucking brand unless I get it for free. All my clothes are free. This Chris Hero hat, free. Big Japan Pro Wrestling, free. I cannot get my own shit for free. We don't have that good of a t-shirt deal. We have a t-shirt deal where I think we can get it, like, $24.99, we only get $5 profit. The rest goes into shipping and the print company. So we're only actually getting $5 from the $24.99. Or maybe it's, yeah, I think it's only $5. Don't quote me on that. It's definitely less than $10. And so we have to pay, I think, $17, $18. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm poor. I'll wear a Big Japan free t-shirt. But yeah, you're right. You're right. You called us out on it. We should probably buy shirts. You ever reckon you'd be like, well, I just told the truth? And be like, you're going to get a nasty email from the rest of your company staff? Well, that's the truth. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. We should be wearing our own products, and we don't have a good enough deal set up. We're not that popular. We don't have a good enough deal to get t-shirts for free. So I will probably buy a shirt within this month. But I'm a real fucking hippie motherfucker. I really am. I don't buy like clothes, like my sweatpants. I buy by bulk. I got like I think 300 pairs of sweatpants for less than like $40. So I am a hippie when it comes to clothes. So, but there is one thing. I used to own a boxing gym, and they're like, well, if you're going to wear clothes, you should only wear your own brand. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. So, yeah, maybe I should. But, yeah, we do have more t-shirts coming out, and I will buy our own t-shirt deal. But I'm fucking poor. So, with that, go to our shirts and buy it for $24.99. I should have gave an answer. Can I give a bullshit answer? That was the truth answer. Can I give a bullshit answer? Well, it's kind of markish to wear your own gear. You know what I mean? It's like wearing your own shirt. You look like a fan of yourself. How fucking douchey is that? That's my bullshit answer. The reality is, I fucking don't have the fucking money. All right, let's see. Jerry just wants me to hit this story up one more time. Smackdown is returning for WWE's new promotional materials. You can read more about it on CocoSports.com. Jerry also says we have a pic of the new WWE trucks up on Coco Sports showing the Thursday listing for Smackdown on this side. So they even changed it there. So that leads, do you think they're doing it because, well, who the fuck wants to watch pro wrestling on Friday nights? Or are they doing it because they're like, fuck that, let's just kill it? All right, let's see. Top comments. Bam. Market Garden says, I can't stand Bruce Blitz personally. He knows his stuff with wrestling, but he really does sound like a whiny bitch when people disagree with him. The fact his fanboys pay real money to hear his opinions on wrestling and don't even pay to watch the show is mind-boggling. Yeah, I always wondered how much, like, it's one of those things, people act like they're bigger than they are. Like, example, I probably shouldn't have said I was too poor to buy my shirt. That's bad company image. So the million-dollar question I have is how much money does Bruce Blitz really make behind that paywall? Because if he makes a lot of money, or enough money to make a living, and I guess he has to make some, because YouTube pays you pretty decent if you got a lot of views. So, yeah, I don't know. It is a bit mind-boggling. I wouldn't pay for it. I wouldn't even pay for it myself. Like, if I was behind a paywall, I'd be like, fuck you, cocksucker. That quote is going to come back to haunt me at the next person. Oh, Coco Sports should be ran like a business, Dave. That's how every company meeting starts. They sit down and be like, Dave, you should run Coco Sports like a business. I'm like, no, it's fun. Yeah, but we want to make money off this. No, we're not that type of company. Like, one time this is old school Coco Sports, we were giving away everything. Autographed posters. I think we had autographed posters of Bret Hart and Owen Hart. We just had tons. So we went to a radio bid. We got all our shit. And we went to a wrestle reunion. Just gave shit away. People were confused. Like, I don't want to buy this. I'm like, no, just pay for it. You don't have to buy it. It's free. They were so confused by my communist way of doing it. But then we met with a really good business guy. We went with, who's those crazy clowns? Some people love them, some people hate them, juggalos. Insane Clown Posse. We met with an Insane Clown Posse, and they were cool as shit without their makeup on. I don't know how they are with their makeup on, but Insane Clown Posse was probably the coolest celebrity I've met, and I had no idea who they were meeting them. And one guy goes, well, if you're giving away everything for free, how do you make money? And Brandon, who used to help host the show a long time ago, before Boo Boo, goes to him, we're like, we're not that type of company. But yeah, the paywall I do find interesting. I hope it's working for them. I would never use that strategy, but if it is working for them, congrats. Franielli says, thanks for your thoughts. Recently I started watching this product, and I'm on the fence about it. Sometimes it seems pretty good, but then some of his guests start acting like roided-up douchebags. Even Bruce has done that. Yeah, and, I don't know how true it is, but a lot of those guys pay to be on there, which I think is fucking crazy. I don't know how true it is, but, I don't know. A lot of people want to come on. I only usually bring people on that I'm friends with or know or have done their own shit. I don't know. Fucking having 20 fucking hosts. I'm like, dude, maybe I'm too much of an egotistical asshole. I barely want Boo Boo to talk. All right. Let's see. Oh, you guys have a lot. Thank you so much. I'll keep doing this until you guys stop. Why is it we've never seen you guys wearing a t-shirt? Oh, weird. Very interesting. LOL. I thought you guys was giving the Raw the best review possible by not reviewing that tournament show. Damn, it sucked. That's from Grevin64. No, just Boom Boom messed up and I was in the hospital. So please, I'll put the link in the doobly-doo. Please check it out. Franielli says, last man standing matches are stupid like you say. Dave, in the most recent one, we have Kane struggling to stand up when he could have clearly exited the ring, landing on the outside. Yeah, I hate last man standing matches. They make pro wrestling, like, I hate to use the word fake, but there's an illusion. You buy into it. But after a while, you're just kind of like, oh, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. Franielli, also, the order of events in the segment between Ambrose and Rollins bugged me. First, Ambrose destroys the contract. Second, he messes up the suitcase. I thought the contract itself was important, not its case. It was just bad. It was bad. And not only that, but it was their formula that they abused done badly. You know what I mean? So not only was it a bowl of Cheerios, a bowl of Cheerios, a bowl of Cheerios, it was like a bowl of Cheerios with shit in it. It's they have their formula, and not only are they abusing their formula, but then they're also making it worse. So that just tells me they're not very creative. They're like, well, let's do something new with the formula. Oh, it's worse than it. All right, stick with the formula. And that's why you have John Cena and all that shit. It's just their formula. I am Mikey, Mike Ashton. Do you feel WWE is going to lose double as much, possibly more, with forced advertising on the network? Talk about disrespect open and raw to straight plug-a-mania. I don't know. I work in marketing. Sometimes that hard sell works on people. Was it over the top? Yeah, but people are talking about it. People are entertaining. I would, if anyone has access to the numbers, I would like to see how much it hurt or helped the network. Because if the hard sell works, you might get more and more hard sells. Because the thing is, everyone made fun of the hard sell on the app. But every week, the app got more and more and more fucking views. Is it disrespect to Raw? Yes, without a doubt. But it happens all the time. It happens all the time. And fucking watch Raw. 90% of the segments are disrespect to fucking pro wrestling. So yeah, Plug-a-Mania. I don't know. I'm very interested to see if it helps or hurts numbers. But I do know that John Cena winning the title, people quit and demanded their money back. Well, I wonder if they'll talk about that on here. I am Mikey, Mike Ashman. WWE's main focus product, aside from NXT, is hot garbage. Last week was really bad. The week prior to that was just garbage. Not hot garbage, but just garbage. However, Dean Ambrose, overall best talent on the main roster. Yeah, he's a good character. I don't know. I don't know if I think he's the best. I honestly think right now, pound for pound, dollar for dollar, cent for cent, I put him at probably number 3. I have to maybe do a Fave 5 of accurate WWE wrestlers right now. But I like Dolph a lot. I like Cesaro a lot. They're not using him right, but I'm saying overall talent. You know, maybe he's the best overall talent being used somewhat correctly. That might be better. Seth Rollins overall, most devious talent on the main roster to play all roles in the WWE current model. Yeah, but he also gets stuck with promos. Roman Reigns overall is the WWE staple and future face of what WWE believes the DNA of a WWE pro wrestler is. These are your leaders of what WWE saved WWE's pride. Yeah, the Shield is really the future, and they're going to do really good, but people are going to turn on. What's his face, the big guy, Roman Reigns, eventually, and then everyone's going to come out and be like, "Well, you always said this, and look, you turned on Roman Reigns." No, that's why I try to be clear, and that's why I love the fact that fucking YouTube archives stuff. I wish I had older shows on YouTube, but I lost them on the great move. But yeah, no. What I always said is, I don't know what Rob says because Rob is very pro Shield, but I know what I said. I said he's going to be a golden boy, and he's a step up from John Cena. Is he deserving of the golden boy? That's debatable. But people are going to turn on him, and they're going to be like, "You always loved Roman Reigns." That's not the case. You know, at one time, everyone hated Roman Reigns because Chris Hero, and then he proved himself. And they said, "Well, he's better than Dave Batista, Randy Orton, John Cena, ever was." And I'll stick by that, even 10, 20 years from now. So, but yeah, to say we're always going to love him, I don't know about that. Market Garden. WWE's audience might, well, mostly be nerds and teens. It is. Statistically, it is. But let's face it, every Cena mom who tries to parent their kid's t-shirt, but no, this is a lie. This is a WWE lie. This is propaganda. I don't agree with this, Market Garden. I love you, but I don't agree with it. Etc. Instead of really teaching their kids how to grow up being dicks old-fashioned ways worth more than 50,000 pissed off people. No, it's a marketing tool. I went to WrestleMania 24. My son wanted a new manga shirt. Couldn't get it. Those soccer moms don't give a fuck what that guy is. If that's the case, those soccer moms, why are they buying? Why is, Grand Theft Auto? Why do they buy Grand Theft Auto? Those soccer moms don't give a shit. Those soccer moms go in, pay for the fucking t-shirt, and leave. When John Cena is the only t-shirt you can sell, he's going to be number 1. At WrestleMania 24, my son wanted a Umaga shirt. Umaga was in a match against Dave Batista, and we couldn't find an Umaga shirt or a Dave Batista shirt or a Rey Mysterio or that. It was John Cena or the original events. And did you notice when they went to New York, when they sold all the products, they didn't mention John Cena being the seller right now? So no, I disagree. I think those moms are going to bring their kids no matter what. I call them the circus audience, and it doesn't matter who the talent is. They're going to buy them a T-shirt, and right now, when you go and you're like, wow, I'd like to buy a T-shirt, there's nothing but John Cena. What shirt do you want? Oh, you want John Cena? All right. There was kids. They don't mention this on WrestleMania 24. There was a documentary being shown that probably was never made, but they recorded. There was kids crying at WrestleMania 24 because they didn't have their favorite wrestlers. Why is that on WWE? It's always a marketing tool. That's it. Those soccer moms don't give a fuck about hustle, loyalty, respect. Because Grand Theft Auto, go on any live system right now. You're gonna hear all these kids call you a faggot and suck nuts and all that on any live thing you do. Call of Duty, Gears of War. I don't fucking know. I'm not into the newer games, but I do know you turn on a fucking newer game, you're gonna get an 8-year-old saying you're a fucking faggot. That's what I do know. That's fact. So no, the hustle, loyalty, respect is bullshit. It's bullshit. It's the only fucking T-shirt they have. It's a marketing fucking tool. My son did not get a T-shirt at WrestleMania 24 because all he wanted was $2. That's it. That's all you fucking want. You can get the official shirt, which has John Cena and Floyd Mayweather, which I did buy, or you fucking can get John Cena fucking merchandise. So to say, oh, the moms would buy anything, those moms don't give a shit. All they give a shit about is their reputation and their kids being happy. That's it. So John Cena does not play a factor. Doesn't. And that's the fucking reality. And until you say, oh no, you're fucking wrong, Dave, turn on, what's Call of Duty? Call of Duty's a popular game, right? I don't really play those because it's just not my style. I like sport games and old school games. But turn on Call of Duty. Guarantee you're going to get a bunch of kids that are John Cena fans telling you to suck a dick and you're a faggot. I guarantee. It's bullshit. It's a bullshit that people buy into. And it's really so. John Cena was the #1 seller at WrestleMania 24 because you couldn't buy it. That is the fucking truth. It's a marketing tool. Teaching our kids how to grow up and be total dicks the old-fashioned way is more than 5,000 pissed-off people that pirate all their stuff. And once again, the ratings. You're just buying market garden. You're buying into WWE's bullshit. Really? 5,000 fans. Did you reach your million mark? How many fans canceled the network? How many fans canceled the network because John Cena's the champ? Don't believe propaganda. Believe facts. If you think there's only 5,000 pissed off fans, great. What was the Attitude Era's ratings? What are the ratings now? Don't buy into the, well, fucking fans don't come back. Oh, they're only going to fucking do it illegally. Matter of fact, let's look at the international market. What was one big thing WWE was worried about? Oh, those evil pirates overseas are stealing our American feed. Oh, it's less. I think it was way less than 30,000. I think 17,000. Don't quote me on it. So, and that added that 17,000. That counted PayPal payers. Majority of those PayPal payers are in the United States. So the evil pirates, yeah, it's bullshit. It's propaganda. Don't buy into it. Every time you say, well, fans are pissed off, they're going to come back no matter what, just look at the ratings. Raw ratings are perfect. You don't have to pay for Raw. Most people have cable. And not that, but look at the review shows. It is absolutely free to do a review show. When me and Boom started, we had to pay. You had to pay for bandwidth. You had to pay for fucking... it costs money to do what we do now. It is free now. There was 1,000 more people complaining about Raw when it was popular. You know why? Because it was popular. What you are saying, Mark and Garden, is stuff that WWE wants you to believe. And it's just not fucking true. The numbers are not there. They're not there. I like the statistic of 10,000 people canceled their uncancelable network after he won the title. There's 10,000 people willing to pay. Where are these fans? They don't. It is bullshit. It's propaganda. Just like Triple H saying they can tell a better story than the UFC. Look at the facts, and no. It's no. No. Little Cena kids with ADHD who think it's real fighting and crying now, not owning 10 t-shirts a year are worth more than 100,000. It's not true. It is not true. That is propaganda. It is proper fucking ganda. And believe it now, they promised 1 million. They promised the TV deal. They promised ratings. If what you're saying is true, the WWE stock would have plummeted. If you're saying what is true, the ratings would be as high now than ever. If you're saying what is true, it would easily have 1 million. What? Let's see. To buy 10 new t-shirts. Well, what are these kids? What are all these John Cena fans? If prior to this, I said, is there 1 million John Cena fans that can buy the network? You would say yes. You would have said yes, pound down, because that's the propaganda believes you. There's not that many John Cena fans. Do kids buy products when they go to live events? Yes. You replace John Cena with anybody, you're still paying for that t-shirt. WrestleMania 24 is the perfect example. They went on Raw bragging how much. We couldn't buy Ric Flair gear. You know why? They didn't make enough. Ric Flair's gear was sold out 2 days prior to WrestleMania. So, yeah. Why didn't they put that up on that fucking Raw? They didn't advertise that. I couldn't buy a Ric Flair shirt because they were sold out by the time I showed up. I showed up Friday morning. I showed up Friday morning for WrestleMania 24 because Friday afternoon because I had to do Talking Sports with Randy Harris. I did Talking Sports. No, I lied. I'm trying to go back. I have a bad memory. I did Talking Sports with Randy Harris in Orlando on the phone. I showed up Friday morning because I took off Talking Sports, which is really, I don't know, it's a well-known show in Tampa that I used to be a part of. And I took off. I called in. I was there Friday morning. They were sold out of Ric Flair shirts. They didn't mention that part. After I left, they still had plenty of John Cena material. No, do not buy their propaganda. They, fucking steal a line from fucking a politician. You can have your different opinions. You can have your different facts. And the facts are, John Cena goes away. Anyone can fill the spot. Anyone. Randy Orton, Dave Batista, anyone can fill the spot. So, yeah, you could be like, oh, well, then, because the thing is, your argument, Martin Garden, is WWE's propaganda. Because the reality is, there's less shows. There's less review shows. You think there's a lot of review shows now? When Raw was popular, dude, we were keen to do what we do now. And there were still hundreds and hundreds of more review shows. So, no, this is WWE propaganda. Do not believe it. Anytime someone says WWE fans, they come back no matter what. Where did they go? Where did the ratings go? Where did the ratings go? Where was that big, huge television deal you promised? Where's that 1 million people you promised? The problem is you buy this propaganda and then it belittles you, and then you have to watch a product you don't like. Let's put it this way. If you've been Dolph Ziggler, the new John Cena, you put all that marketing behind it, be honest. We would like the internet fans, the real demographic from teen to nerd. And you think Dolph Ziggler, as being promoted as the #1 guy, would sell less t-shirts than John Cena. You're lying to yourself. You're buying into the propaganda. Don't buy into the propaganda. If WWE knew what they were doing, the ratings would be high. They would have got a huge television deal. They would have people. The problem is, they've been faking the funk and believing their own propaganda that you're spewing so long that they fucking got hit with it. It reminds me of Mike Tyson in Tokyo. Be the baddest person in the world. But if you're not fucking really doing the right things, you're gonna get caught on the chin. And they're caught on the chin right now. And you still are spewing this propaganda. Bagger Garden, this is a question just for you, and I don't mean to pick on you. I just know that this is what WWE wants you to believe. If I asked you when WWE Network launched, and I said, do you think there's 1 million little kids that buy John Cena on the WWE Network? I guarantee you would have said yes. Don't believe propaganda, believe facts. When he won the title, 10,000 people canceled the uncancelable service. WrestleMania 24. Did you notice? New York. Go back and watch Raws. Not once did they mention T-shirt sales of John Cena. Because in New York, they guaranteed every single person would have a T-shirt. So when all the characters are in a fair game at WrestleMania, and I'm sorry, if I go to WrestleMania and my son likes Umaga, how the fuck am I at WrestleMania and can't find an Umaga shirt? That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing as a company. But they'll do anything to protect Stephanie. Kind of like they're not going to mention how Brady has died. They'll do anything, and that's what happens. This is why starting a business with a family and having a monopoly is bad. WWE has a fucking monopoly, and they're horrible. Because they can stick to the formula. And as long as they believe what you're spewing, it's true. Anytime someone says, oh, John Cena has more fans and more valuable, where are his fans? And if his fans are so valuable, how come the TV deal didn't get a bigger deal? Alright? I didn't mean to pick on you, Mark, and I hope you didn't take it that way, but I get this often. Alright. Mike Ashman says, the Attitude Era was a forced hand because true alternatives like ECW and WCW had pushed them to the limits. Give yourself a Barry Horowitz. You said what I said 10 times better in one sentence. Thank you. The limits of pro wrestling displayed all styles of pro wrestling, while WWE had always one-dimensional and boring. WWE, the ego that lives with the product, is what will kill them ultimately, I believe. I don't think it will kill them because Vince is very good at marketing and stealing. He needs legit competition to steal off of and market against. If not, he's going to stick to the formula. If there was no WCW, then Hulk Hogan would still be main eventing. Thank you for saying it's so much better than I have. Travis Moore, hey guys, coming to my hometown, Wilkes, Pennsylvania. Smackdown's coming to my hometown in Wilkes, Pennsylvania, 9/9/14. Awesome, hope you have fun. I always say this, may the bookings be in your favor. SmackDown, half the time, I started watching SmackDown doing reviews, I say half the time it's better than Raw, especially if you like wrestling, so enjoy it. Plus, John Cena doesn't show up there. So, I think I'd rather go to SmackDown than Raw. I really would. It's better wrestling, less thing. Alright. Sports entertainment is such a fucking despair term. MMA and all combat sports are entertainment. You have no excuse to play a shit product and disrespect viewers' logic. And this is from I Am Mikey. You're just hitting home runs today, Mr. Ashman. Authority. LOL. The pro wrestlers that co-sign this shit are looking for a better fucking payday, and they co-signed by the machine to bring relevance to their careers. Of course. Yeah. That's why Triple H talking shit about the UFC, John Cena talking shit about the UFC. The problem is, UFC is different. The UFC is still doing your job better. Franielli, I'm still waiting for my Turkey Mania t-shirt, Dave. Please make it happen. I have put in a request to Jerry, who's basically running everything. He has a list of t-shirts, and Turkey Mania is one of them. So hopefully we'll have a bunch of t-shirts for you guys to wear and support. Appreciate it. Yeah, I have that. I'll even tell you, it's going to be like a light brown shirt. Granted, it could change. I'm not the graphic guy. But it's going to be a light brown shirt, and it's going to have a big turkey, like a Thanksgiving turkey. It's a Turkey Day Champ, CocoSports.com. That is the plan. Hopefully it'll be made. Most likely, we're not. I don't want to badmouth. I don't want to badmouth Coco Sports while being Coco Sports. Let me tell you about Coco Sports. They fucking suck. Travis Moore. Why does WWE not push SmackDown like Raw? What's the point of having shows? Well, first off, they make a lot more money with Raw. Raw has always been their #1 show, and they have the most pride in it. It is their baby, and it's a bigger television deal live. Why don't they push SmackDown more? I imagine it has to do with marketing and all that. Probably television deals have a factor in it. And, yeah, I don't know. I would push both. I imagine if it was all on the network and the network becomes a huge success, they would push both of them. But they want the ratings in Raw. SmackDown is a B show at every word of, and every, I'm getting punch drunk here, but in every which way you can imagine, SmackDown is a B show. But you know what? Wrestling-wise and no Cena-wise, I like SmackDown. All right, bam. Let's see. Any more comments? If not, I'm going to wrap this up. Boom. All right, well, we got more comments. Thank you, guys. Let's see. All right. Let's see. So I apologize. When is Rob coming back? Franny asks. Should I start covering for his Turkey Day champ jokes? LOL. I love the joke. Rob might come back later today or tomorrow. It's just we've been missing each other, and I was in and out of the hospital, and it's difficult. But Rob will be coming back. Don't worry. We love Rob, even though Rob's Turkey Day joke. I still can't believe it got as much traction as it did. Mike Ashman. I enjoy all pro wrestling discussion shows on the tube. Anything I can catch, really, I view it. We are all fanboys/girls at the end of the day, and from the heated discussions, we need to come back to reality and realize we are still fans. Yeah, I think a lot of people do that. Yeah, it's just opinions and fans. I agree with you, Ashman. And all that, but like a lot of people are like, oh, you're mad. I'm like, no, I'm just a passionate, loud person from New Jersey. I don't think I'm ever really that mad. And no one is better than the other. It's just a different opinion. Plus, you need breaks. You know, like, I like Don Tony. I like Solo Master, but I can't listen to him 24/7. So, the beauty of the Pro Wrestling Discussion Show, Brute Blitz, Teamwork, Coco, no matter what they both are spreading knowledge of rich history of credible pro wrestling. Yeah. As a whole, well, that's a little over the top, but yeah, I agree. And save you the new viewers/fans, the WWE brainwashing program. We all trash pro wrestling we don't like and are guilty of putting over who we like. Of course, we're humans. The only thing I have is when people talk down. Like, I like OTRS Central, but I think sometimes I'm like, dude, why talk down to fans? But then again, people like that. People, I don't know, I hate that dirty tricks work. I hate the fact that I hate this fucking show, come check out my show. If that works, I hate that. I hate the fact that, whoa, I'm an internet nerd, and whoa. Like, I hate, if that works, I just hate that skit. Like, the only thing I hate is when someone in pro wrestling, YouTube or otherwise, make fun of wrestling fans. I just think it's the dumbest fucking thing. If you disagree, disagree, be passionate. But I think sometimes people label like, oh, internet fans, oh, IWC, oh, this and that. And it really, when I hear that, to me, it's you think you're better than other people. And it's just not the case. You can disagree, but just because you have a YouTube channel or wrestled in front of 10 fucking people, it's fucking stupid. Like, I don't understand. Like, I go on Facebook and I see these fucking guys in the wrestling business, in the media business, in fucking pro wrestling fan, and be like, oh, I fucking, like, even memes. Memes like, oh, fucking internet fans. And the big thing is, too, like, it's got to a point that it's so bad that people will be like, it hasn't even happened yet. Like, oh, fucking Kevin Steen, oh, the internet doesn't like his new fucking gimmick, blah, 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 blah. Like, dude, that's never fucking happened yet. Don't, like, being a pro wrestling fan has kind of been a punchline of a lot of jokes. And it's bullshit. It's bullshit. There's nothing wrong with being a fan. And that's why we came up with the slogan, CocoSports.com, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. I don't fucking understand it. That's one thing that really pisses me off. We need to learn as pro wrestling fans in the internet age, we actually had a voice to make a change in the dark age. I agree. If we band together as a community, we should be possible helping hand in a promotion to step up and be a true alternative. Or maybe that is just hippie and me thinking way too positive and calculated society. Yeah, I think Daniel Bryan shows how the internet works. You know, there are people out there that will be like, oh no, it was planned. And if it was planned, then WWE Creative is way worse than anything else ever at storytelling. But yeah, I just I don't know. The one thing I hate about pro wrestling is when has being a fan became a punchline? Like, why is it bad to be a fan? I fucking hate that. I hate that with all my fucking heart. And it's just fucking stupid. And I think that does more damage. You know, everyone's like, oh, these internet fans giving their opinion. It really hurts the business. No one hurts the business. You. You hurt the business by saying these fans are stupid for having an opinion. It's fucking mind-blowing. No entertainment industry that I know of is as dumb to the fucking fans as it is. And it's because propaganda. The movie fans always come back. Really? Really? Ratings. Ratings disprove that. And one thing, I bust WWE's balls, and I know this gets a lot of heat on the internet. I love the WWE Universe marketing. I hate fucking calling people fans. Like, people like, you know, one thing I try to say internet infantry because I don't want to fucking call you fans. It's fucking dumb. Fans. We're having an interaction together online. Listeners, I don't know, we're on video, all that shit, but I love the fact they call it the Universe. And anyone that I would ban them, I would punish them. If I was WWE, and I did this at fucking wrestling, and guess what? With local talent, we all made money. You cannot, because the problem is, you feel good about yourself. But let me tell you why the smart, I hate the fans attitude doesn't work. All right, you have a small arena, 10, 20 people, and maybe 8 of them are internet fans shitting on you. You go out there and you find one fan, and that one fan, he lets himself go. He just wants to go. Like when I go to a David Copperfield magic show, I let myself go. When I go into a movie, I let myself go. I'm like, what's happening is reality. Well, that's what a lot of people do in entertainment. So you have like 10 people in the crowd, and this one guy goes in. He's not an internet fan. He just lets himself go. He's like, you know what? Whatever the fuck happens in that ring for the next 3 hours is real. I'm going to cheer. I'm going to have fun. Fuck it. I'm just not going to worry about my problems. Then the wrestling fan comes out, and on the forums, people are like, oh, he's fat. He can't fucking work. And really, his feelings are hurt. But how does he fucking deal with it? Does he get in shape? Of course not. Does he get better at wrestling? Of course not. He goes out there and he calls them marks and smarks. Well, the problem is there's a couple of internet fans that are like, one day I'm going to be in the business. And I want to talk down to him. Doesn't matter. That one guy who paid, who wanted to fucking be entertained and let it all go, comes crashing down. Because he's screaming and yelling. He's like, I fucking hate you, Dave Batista. I hope you fucking die. And Dave Batista goes, oh, you're a fucking smart or a mark. The whole world of letting it go comes crashing down. And he goes, you know what? I went to college for 4 years. I got fucking 2 wives and 16 kids. I'm pretty fucking successful. What the fuck am I doing here? You don't want the fucking reality to crash down. And that's it. An example, like a lot of indie wrestlers are always like, oh, fuck these marks and smarks. But you're wrestling in front of 10 people. If these marks and smarks come to your show and pay, why? I know that, but you defend John Cena. If you're an indie wrestler, and let me put it this way: if I ran a show, and I'm dead serious about this, if I ran a show and you were decent enough, I could cut you, but you're a good part of the show. You're a mid-carder, and even if you're a main eventer, I'd pull you aside, but don't ever fucking do that. But if you're a mid-carder and you go on fucking Facebook and you're like, oh, fucking all these stupid fucking fans that fucking hate John Cena, you're a bunch of fucking marks, I would cut you. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The point is, it's entertainment and you want those people in. You're not even part of fucking WWE. That's the thing. A lot of people, this WWE universe, this propaganda machine, you think you're part of it. Alright? No, you're not part of the fucking machine. Alright? If you're an indie wrestler and you say, oh, fucking, and you're defending WWE, you're fucking stupid. If you're bashing WWE, you're stupid. All you should be doing is promoting yourself. But you don't want to. The same reason YouTubers talk down to fucking internet fans is the same reason the indie wrestler fucking defends WWE. Deep down inside, you want to pretend you're special when you're not. And that's the problem. That's the problem. And yeah, you could fucking easily, like me and Bruce Boltz, we can easily get along. Easily. There's a million fucking viewers. He has a lot. Well, that's the thing, too. Like, even in business, if I was attacking him, I'd be like, oh, that makes sense. The Eric Bischoff thing. When you're number 2, attack number 1. But the fact that you're number 1, you get way more viewers than me, and you're attacking me in other shows, that's retarded. That's retarded. So yeah, I don't know. The only thing that I fucking hate about pro wrestling in general is when people talk bad about the fans. I don't give a fuck if you're a 90-year-old fucking person who wrestled in front of 30 fucking people against Ric Flair in 1927, or if you're a fucking YouTuber that fucking went to his head. I just don't attack fans. Now, will I attack ideas? Yeah. But at the end of the day, if we fucking get a huge debate, and at the end of the day, like me and Player Dies, we get debates because we just think he's a lot younger, he only knows WWE product, I'm older, been somewhat in the business, but at the end of the day, if we disagree, well, it's nice debating with you, we disagree, we're both fucking fans, moving on. Nowadays, you can't do that. It just seems kind of crazy. Mike Ashman also goes on, look at the build-up from just the press conference with John Jones and versus Daniels and that breaking into the brawl. Since WWE Raw main event started off, what the fuck, is there a day of our lives writer joke in WWE Creative? This is embarrassing. The Raw final segment should have been an opening segment to kick off shows. At this point, the mainstream pro wrestler is no excuse for trash to get greenlit to go on here. And I agree, they have to fucking improve their product. UFC is a monopoly, and they're always improving their product. And the worst part is, the UFC is more entertaining than your sports entertainment. King DW 2100 says, WWE has put on the perfect show. They want to put on. They try to keep it as safe as they can, of course, because sponsorship. When they realize the product is fine, but it's not for wrestling fans anymore, people have to stop watching and look for something else, create competition, and make all pro wrestling better. Yeah, but WWE, I'll give you a compliment to this. WWE has done something great. They made the moat bigger. And what I mean by that is, when you go to invest, and this ain't my idea, this is Bucket's idea. If you go to invest in a company, you always say, well, how should I invest in this company? And you always wonder how big the moat is. Example, would you invest in Facebook? Maybe at a really early age, but right now, investing in Facebook isn't that great of an idea. Is it a successful business? Of course it is. But the moat's not that big. You can make a social media network pretty fucking quickly. Where you want a moat is, you're like, wow, I'm going to invest in this oil company. They kill, murder everyone to make sure they have their contracts. Wow, the moat is pretty big. Where WWE, back in WCW and ECW days, the moat was kind of small. They're like, oh fuck, they have to do really good. WWE has made the moat really big, where it's harder and harder to compete with WWE. And a lot of people are fucking lazy. They won't watch an alternative. And that's kind of sad. And even TNA, they're like, oh, it's an alternative. Is it really? Really? I mean, TNA, I like it. Quite a lot. If fucking I showed TNA to a random fucking person in Japan, they're not going to understand that. Mike Ashman says, major indie promotion. Did I answer that all the way? I think so. Yeah, I think WWE will put on a good product when they're challenged. And honestly, their biggest competition right now is us. Not Coco Sports, not Bruce Blitz, but it's just fans going, fuck you, I ain't buying your fucking shit. That's the biggest competition right now. So they're like, oh, well, they're not buying our shit. What do they want? And they know what they want, but they're very egotistical. But as soon as, let me put it this way. If Jarrett, TNA, Ring of Honor, New Japan, any of them came anywhere near close to a WCW product would go. $1 million overnight. John Cena would probably have to fucking retire. He definitely would be champion. But when you have a fucking monopoly, that's what you get. Mike Ashman, major indie promotions in North America have embraced the combat sports art form. Japanese strong style and utilizing the style to build up alternative aspects of their show from talent and ring repairs out. Indie promotions build and promote their shows more than ever in the past 5 years for sure. Without a doubt. If you're an indie promotion, you need to not bash WWE because that's fucking stupid, but you have to be an alternative. And that's what TNA should have been doing. At one time, TNA is like, well, they don't have cruiserweights, let's have the X division. Oh, they don't have tag teams, let's study the X thing. If you're an indie promotion and you're like, wow, what can we do? Watch WWE, see what's missing, and then become that alternative. Even Jakar has a great alternative. There are genius creative minds of a younger generation that can usher potential of a new fresh product with the influence of the Heyman and with the crossover Japanese strong style and lucha more like ECW and WCW introduced on the main stage. Dragon Gate, Evolve, Deal Wrestling, ROH, PWG. Paul Heyman is a genius promoter behind the mainstream pro wrestling in North America. It's a shame that he's not able to be in the driver's seat of a major alternative promotion. I agree, but he's old. He doesn't have the drive, and why risk everything? He's a genius that almost went fucking bankrupt. WWE pays you. It's hard. It's hard to be a genius in today's world. Not even just pro wrestling, because eventually you get worn down and you're like, oh, maybe, all right, fuck it, you know. So there you go. All right, that's gonna be the last question because Leo wants to hang out with Dad. I hear him back. So I'm gonna go hang out with my kids. If you have any more comments or questions, please leave them down below. I hope you enjoyed the show. I will try to do a main event review tonight or tomorrow, and I'm going to get back on track. Thank you for those who left kind words about me in the hospital. I really do appreciate it. And August is going to be a bit bumpy. I try to do a show every day, but August is going to be a bit bumpy. September, I should be back on track. And we're doing a lot of stuff with the website, so I'm going to be very busy. But thank you for the support. Please like, comment, subscribe. Boom Boom went into way more detail about Raw. I'm going to put a link in the doobly-doo. We just put it on my personal channel. So hopefully people go watch it. So thank you for the live viewers. Thank you for the live comments. We'll keep doing it. And remember, go to cocosports.com. Jerry and Pablo and David, well, Jerry and David Cooey have been working really hard. So hopefully we do it. We have a lot of plans to make it. We're hoping that one day we'll be your #1 source. But yeah. So go to cocosports.com, and I will be back within 24 hours. With that, I am over.